Welcome to Sigma Duocast, hosted by Rick
and Nate.
We're just a couple of best buds talking about current entertainment stuff, as well as everyday life for a couple of guys in their 30s. Anyways, enjoy the show.
Shut up, bitch.
I'm feeling fantastic right now, Nate.
I feel pretty good.
Yeah, I don't like this word vibing, but like my shit's like I'm vibing pretty damn good.
And
had a couple drinks already, and it's been fantastic.
To honor your cousin, can we talk about the word vibes real quick?
Oh my god, he hates that word.
That shit was so funny.
So today's gonna be super fun. We'll jump into it. Just quick little what we've done this last week. I actually got to take a COVID test today, man.
Did Supreme Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg give it to you? Hella shaky.
You know she's dead, bro. Why are you bringing? Come on, man. R.I.P. What's wrong with you?
Why not?
Anyway, so I did a COVID test today, and I did it. It wasn't because I have COVID or anything. It's because I have a appointment next week. And
but what if you did?
They won't let me. Well, I'll find out within the next day. But I have an appointment. And they won't let you in the hospital unless you take a COVID test, and it was pretty cool. It was an interesting experience.
Did it tickle your brain?
So I went to this clinic, and you go in there, and the way they did it, it's like a surf.
Did you get free condoms?
No, it's a self.
What kind of clinic is that then?
Hey, don't worry about it. It's a self-test one. So you go in there, and they give you the Q-tip, and she told you to.
Is that what they call it?
Way, well, it's pretty much what it is. You put it all the way in your nose, circle it 3 times on both sides, and it was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah,
it wasn't crazy, but I did it myself. It was weird. You were just there as a witness.
Wait, they gave it. You did it yourself?
Yeah, it's a self. If you listen instead of talking like you were right now.
I mean, I was listening, but also talking. So
yeah,
therefore,
it's it's a self take. But she just witnessed and she did all the paperwork so that way she can send it to the hospital.
What if you did it wrong?
I don't know. I mean, she pretty much said like you don't have to jam it in there, but you'll just stop once you get there.
Is that what she told you?
I got teary eyed, and she's like, "Oh, you did it right," because I started crying because like I kind of went up,
because you went too far.
Yeah, I went too far. You know how that is sometimes.
Always taking it too far.
Yeah. What else is new, man? What else did you get to? Did you see the new Mandalorian episode?
I did.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's a whole separate another conversation.
That's a whole dedicated episode right there.
Yeah, that was pretty. It was pretty cool. A lot of surprises. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. And then
if you don't have Disney Plus, you need to get on that shit.
Yeah, you do. And then, did you vote already?
I did.
You went by mail, obviously.
By mail, yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to the spot tomorrow. I don't know what it is. Call me superstitious. I don't trust the mail shit, dude. I don't know what it is. So I'll go in tomorrow. I'm gonna go and actual booth. I like the novelty of actually going to the booth. You got your own little corner, and
then you're gonna have to take another coronavirus test.
Yeah, that's okay, dude. I'll go in there looking like Michael J. Fox from Back to the Future, bro. I'll be full hazmat. I don't care. Space Invaders.
Stupid.
But yeah, man. So today we have a guest, man.
We do.
It's going to be fun. We have a guest. I've known this person for 13 years of my life. I learned a lot from this person. He's the type of dude that he just knows things. Like if you go and you talk to him, like you need anything. You need like anything about food. We'll talk about video games for sure, but like house, just life, wisdom. Like this guy will know it. Like. If he doesn't know it, he'll come up with something and he'll be like, "Oh, you do know it."
You know a little bit about everything.
And then he's got fantastic humor. This guy makes puns out of anything, like just off the whim.
No, yeah, he invited us into his home today, so we're actually on the road today.
Yes, we are on location.
Very welcoming, made us feel at home. I'm stoked, dude.
I'm super excited. He's an avid video game collector, big into retro. He's like the biggest Sega fan I know. Like I don't know any other Sega fans out there really, to be honest with you, because I grew up around Nintendo and then PlayStation and whatever. But so if you have ever anything about Sega, he'll know it. You can actually get a glimpse of his collection. He has an Instagram page called Retro Gaming Nomad, and he has a lot of cool stuff on there. Like a few weeks ago, he posted some Transformer figures that he found. I'm like, dude, Transformer toys? Like, let's get it. Especially since like everyone's on a hype of Transformers right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he loves old school hip hop, as you got to see just a little while ago. Records on records on records,
Man,
like not mainstream. Like I'm talking about deep cuts. You know what I mean? Like not the typical. I mean, he knows all that obviously, but like the good shit, man.
There's some records that I haven't seen in quite some time.
And then lastly, he's a big connoisseur of alcoholic beverages. This guy, if you go and check his fridge, you ain't gonna find Corona, Michelob, Bud Light. You're gonna find some shit.
He said, "Nah, fuck that shit."
Yeah, you're gonna find local brew, some good stuff. We've already drank 2 different beers today, and I'm already like loving it. Right now we got some cucumber. What's this called?
Cucumber Kolsch.
Super good. But anyway. Without further ado, we got our guest today, Lou Valverde, and right after this.
Let me tell you about the Proto Culture. If you don't know the culture, here's the whole structure. We had enough of the lackluster. Trust us, we get the kind of games you can't rent in blockbusters. What happened to game fans? You know what I'm saying? Oh, they was cool at first, now we got Game Republic now. E-Storm, though, it's about E-Storm. And EGM is how we win. Hey KU, you know my Sega collection is massive. Got all the past hits and classics. Here's Dog's Way, now Panzer's Way. Originality that made me a fan today.
It's pandemonium, it's like Toys R Us. Flipping the next Saturn game brings out the boys in us. It's poisonous, taking out the boys in blue. When Grand Theft Auto snatch a Rolls Royce to use.
Yeah, I'll admit that PlayStation improved. Come visit feudal Japan with me and Tenchu. Bushido Blade 2.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Thanks for that awesome intro.
Dude, so
He's had that intro lined up for like 3 weeks.
ever since you played it on Instagram, I never heard that song in my life, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'm not a poser, so I literally never heard that song in my life. And then you posted on one of your Instagrams with, it was a Sega on your stories.
Yeah.
I'm like, what song is this? And I went on Apple Music, listened to it, and I was like, this is fucking tight.
Yeah, that was Del the Funky Homo Sapien from the group Hieroglyphics, which is the hat I'm wearing, I think.
Yeah, it's got the 3 dots.
Yeah. Yeah, man, he's a big Sega fan himself, Sega nerd, and there's a documentary. It's called The Golden Era that you guys should watch. And he's literally playing like a Dreamcast and even a GameCube, and he's playing Sonic, and then I forgot, it was a Billy Hatcher, I think it's called.
Oh,
the
okay.
game. Yeah, he's playing. He's raising a chow or whatever. But yeah, he's a huge Sega fan too. So
Yeah, the moment I listened to that song, I Googled like the word or the phrase proto culture. I was like, what exactly does this mean? And I'm like, the evolution of taking time. And then you hear the song and it's literally going like through the ages of games. And I was like, dude, this is it. Like when I get Lou on, that's the theme. I've been telling this guy for like weeks now. I'm like, that's proto culture. That's what we're doing. We're going to talk about that stuff. And then did you hear the updated song they did of that?
no.
So
not.
there's an updated song. So you know how in the verse or in the chorus they say, you can buy the games, you don't get a Blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. They have a bunch of other artists in it, and they're like, we play the games that you can't buy at GameStop. And I was like, dude,
No, I haven't heard that. I got to listen to that one. That's pretty cool.
it's hella funny. But dude, they have a bunch of different artists, and it's all up to date to the current current genre of what we got in gaming and stuff.
It's got Dell in it too. He's in there.
Yeah, it's got
wow.
the original, and then let me see. I'll bring it up. I'll tell you who the other guest people are.
Like a
in
bunch
little
of
bit.
new artists.
Yeah. So today, I mean, it's going to be an interesting journey. We're going to talk about, speaking of proto culture, the console gaming, but more so like the American home console release. Next week, we have PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X coming out.
Yep.
So I kind of wanted to just go through and talk about all the console wars, American home release consoles, starting with NES and Sega Master System, and then we'll just take it time by time. And hopefully by the end of this, we'll have a fun journey, because I don't know how we'll probably segue to a bunch of other shit. But first thing I gotta get it on record, man. So me and Nate and I, we have this. It became a joke, and then it's now official. It's the Terramana with the coconut berry. I respect a lot of your opinions, even if I don't agree with them. I respect them like fucking to the moon, man. What did you think of it's becoming our official drink, Terramana and coconut berry Red Bull?
Yeah, I gotta say, now when you say Terramana, you're talking about mixed with the
Mixed together. The Terramana is tequila mixed with the, and you added something special today, which I already knew I should have done from the beginning, but you added that today, and I think that's going to be a normal thing going forward as well.
Yeah, so I gotta say, I'm not the biggest fan of tequila. I've had some bad experiences with tequila. I give this 2 thumbs up, man. It was really good. A scale of 1 to 10, I give it a solid 8.5.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That's a killer score.
When you add a little tahini to it.
Tahini.
I give it a 9.0. I mean, it was pretty good.
I love how he's like, do you know what goes good with this tahini? And I just like reach my pocket like the fucking pocket of Narnia, and
Dude.
I fucking shit, I just pull up
So
tahini.
before on our adventure here, we stopped at the gas station.
AM PM.
Yeah, and we had to end up picking up some ice and some drinks and stuff like that. And at checkout, Rick's checking out, and all of a sudden he's just like, "Oh, and add this," and it's this tiny little vial of tahini.
Yep.
And I was just like, "Bro, what? Did you really just buy that? Like,
It
what?
was
The
69 cents. It was right there. It was an impulse buy, bro.
And it
That's what they
turns
do.
out it was for a reason.
Yeah. So
Fucking
you guys,
destiny.
Yeah, you guys are serving it, and I was like, you know what would be really good with this? Is some tahini. And you go, bam! And Nate was just like, no way, dude, you called it, man. You freaking called it. Yeah, but it did. It added a little kick
It was
to it.
so good.
It's pretty good, man. I recommend it.
After having that, and we had, what was it, the Beeline light beer?
Yeah. So we had Beeline from Track 7, fantastic blonde ale, light, tasty, has a little bit of honey, hence the Beeline. I say make a beeline to the store and go buy some.
It was fucking delicious. Yeah, definitely. If you guys are in the, is this available anywhere, or is,
Yeah.
is it more local?
Well, it's technically local. Track 7's more local, but you can get it. Bevmo if you need it. Yeah.
It was good. I definitely recommend that Beeline. It's a good ale. I'm not even, I don't drink alcohol that much, but that was actually like, it was smooth. It was good.
It was delicious for sure.
So real quick, circling back, it's Random Beats, Mega Ran, and Della Funky Homo Sapien. Also, Kyle's Unique, Sky Blue, Gizmo, Jezzy Dangerously, and somebody else, but it's cut off, and it shows Proto Culture Remix.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never. See, just put me on to something new, and that's what I love.
2020 just came out this year.
Oh, see, there you go. And that's what I love. It's like, you can be kind of an a-hole and be like, oh, yeah, I know about that. Nah, man, hey, if I can get put on some new stuff, I'm all about it, dude.
And it's funny because I like, I'll be honest, like I like old school hip hop, but I don't know it. Like I'll hear songs and I'm like, oh yeah, I know, I've heard that. But the only song that I know from like hieroglyphics, like super in my head is, it was in Tony Hawk, and it was the hygiene. Like it's important to practice good hygiene. At least
yeah.
And
That's a song
right.
called If You Must.
You must.
Yeah.
Because in the song is like, you have to wash your ass if you must.
Wash your hey, yeah.
It was so good.
Oh, it should be funky.
Yeah, man.
That's a
I
good one.
love that song.
That's off of Dell's album. Oh, man. I can't think of a... Anyways, it'll come to me.
Yeah, he just has such a wonderful voice. Like, there's certain, like, artists that you hear him and it's like, they got that voice. Like, it's just... It's fantastic.
And it's kind of weird because, like, when I first heard Dell, I don't think I really liked his voice too much because, his first album, I Wish My Brother George Was Here, it was really funky. So it had a lot of funk from like George Clinton. George Clinton was one of the producers, and a lot of people don't know, but Dell, the Funky Homo Sapien, he's cousins with Ice Cube. So Ice Cube did a lot of his producing, and obviously, executive producer put up a lot of probably cash to. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I can only assume for him to do it. But then when he came out with his second album, No Need for Alarm, that is in my all-time top 5.
Really?
Because it was completely different from the first one to a point where I was kind of pissed off because I like the funk.
Yeah.
I'm a huge funk fan. And I was like, man, this is like completely different. His rhyme style is different. Like he's offbeat, on beat. And it's just, but then the more and more I started listening to it, I couldn't stop. And there's like, to me, there's for something to be in even my top 10, there like can't be a bad track on it. And to me, there's not a bad track on that album. No Need for Alarm is, it's classic.
No Need for Alarm. I'm gonna have to listen to them. We'll probably have to listen on the drive back.
Yeah, for sure.
If you can, catch him in concert too, especially in the smaller clubs in this area, SAC, and sometimes he does some stuff in Modesto, but he puts on a fantastic show. Usually live band, and just kills it.
Oh yeah, it's way more authentic and genuine in that sense. So today we're going to take a Proto Culture journey with the console wars, because we have a big release coming out next week. But at the same time, we're going to kind of learn from one another about gaming and what it does for us. So technically, it wasn't necessarily the really first initial console war, because I know Sega, they kicked it off, but they mainly focused it with Genesis. But NES 1983 and Sega Master System 1986. Now you're more Sega. What drew you more to Sega than the mainstream Nintendo?
Arcades, and that's the bottom line. It was just arcades. So, in the early 80s, I was an arcade rat. I mean, I used to go there all the time, save up my quarters, wouldn't spend my lunch money, do whatever I could. Me and my buddy Anthony, call him Bubba, we would go down to the local arcade and literally blow whatever we had, like on that quarters after quarter after quarter. I mean, it was crazy. So when you went to the arcade, we would be obsessed with games like Double Dragon, games like Rampage, stuff. I'm trying to just Zaxxon, of course, Frogger, and then the fighting games started coming out. He was really good at Virtua Fighter. That was like the first 3D fighter, Tekken, all that stuff. But going back to the original stuff, like everywhere I looked, like my favorite games, they all said Sega on them, And so I told the story before to one of my friends, and when the Master System finally came out, everybody that I knew had a NES. Everybody. I didn't have any console at the time, other than I had Atari 2600. I think I had. And for Christmas, I was like, "Hey," parents asked me what I wanted. I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I want a Sega Master System." So long story short, my dad goes to buy it, and they talk him into getting the Nintendo.
The store clerks.
Yeah, and they're like, "No, he doesn't want a Sega. He wants a Nintendo. Believe me, he wants it. All the kids want the Nintendo. This is the big." And it was hard to get at that time, so they had it in stock, and they talked my dad into getting a Nintendo. And he was like, "Hey, my son knows what he wants. He wants a Sega, but he called it Seiko."
Seiko?
Yeah, my dad couldn't say Sega, so he always called it Seiko. So they're like looking for watches and shit. But anyways, he talks to my dad into get it
too.
Yeah, and they're kind of expensive. I was like looking at some Seikos. I was like, dude, I thought they were pieces of crap back then. They're actually
them and Timex too. Timex now is like super expensive.
Yeah, and like Champion. What's up with Champion, bro? My mom used to get Champion at Kmart.
Kmart, right? Dude, you couldn't go to school wearing Champion.
No.
Now everyone's like, oh,
I had Champion. So I had Tracks. Like for all the old school cats out there, you know what Tracks are? They're like super generic Adidas, and they're basically made out of freaking plastic.
Yep.
I used to take, and they had like a bunch of stripes on it, and I would take some of the stripes off so they look like Adidas. No joke. Yeah.
It's the bootlegs. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but he was like Champion. Now I'm looking at Champion. That's a $70 Champion sweatshirt.
Right? They like made a comeback out of nowhere.
What? Anyways, I digress. So back to Sega. So yeah, my parents get me it for Christmas, and the NES, and I don't open it.
Oh man,
I would not open it. I was still savvy of return policies back then. I knew.
If I open this,
because the truth was, Nintendo would have been cool, but I really, really wanted a Sega Master System because they had Rampage, 2-player. Their version of Double Dragon was 2-player. On the NES, it was only single.
1-player, yeah.
Unless you fought each other at the very end, or whatever. It was 2-player. And just games like Super Monaco GP, Hang On, Space Harrier, Afterburner, Thunderblade. All those games were on the Sega console, and they were not Shinobi, which later came out. Which sucked. But all those, I played those in the arcade, man, and I wanted that at home, and you just couldn't get it at the NES at that time. And so I didn't open my system, and then finally my mom's like, You want us to take it back on? And I was like, it's cool. I
don't even appreciate it.
It's not that I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it's like, because my parents didn't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? So I was like, I didn't want to be rude, but at the same time, I knew what I wanted. And if I had the chance, it's the possible chance of returning this full price and get a Master System, hell yeah, I was going to do it. And eventually that's what happened. The funny thing is, though, my dad thought that all these games came on the system, very much like the mini systems are now.
Yeah, like all the compilations.
He thought they were all on there, and I was like, "No, Dad, that's just the system. The games are separate." He's like, "What the hell?"
Because back then, if I remember correctly, like I think it was up until I want to say probably like the GameCube age. But back then, when you saw the box of the consoles on the back, it would literally list like all the games that you can get. And, you know, I can see how you can see that comes with it.
Yeah. So on the back of the Master System box, it had like Missile Defense 3 because they had the 3D glasses. They had the gun game, the what's called like gallery shooting or a version of Duck Hunt. It was called like Safari Hunt. It was called, which was kind of cool. But yeah, man. And I was just like, nah, Dad, the games they're like another. And even back then, they were still like $50-$60. And
yeah,
he was
inflation
like,
has never really changed. That's what's funny about that.
the game systems. And he was like, no, I'm not. I got you the system. I'm not. You know, I eventually returned it. Was able to get a Master System. Had no games built in. Although there is a little cheat code on the original Sega Master System.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you push up on the title screen where it goes. When the Sega logo comes out, it goes, but it doesn't say Sega.
It is, yeah,
but
that's
where the original sound came from, though, was a Master System. It goes, so as soon as that sound comes up, you push up and then button 2, and it turns into a little snail maze game.
Really? Yeah, because Sega had the 3 buttons in the Masters 1, 2, 3, right?
No, it only had 2.
Only had 2.
No, 2 buttons.
Okay, so
but it had
Genesis
a nice floating D-pad, dude. It was so sick.
Yes.
And then it had like a little on the D-pad. You could take off this little cover and screw in a mini joystick on it, which I guess kind of worked. I never liked it though. But yeah, man, it was. So I eventually got what I wanted, and yeah, which is funny because I'm talking about all these games that I wanted in the arcade, but the very first game I bought for it was Penguin Land.
Penguin Land.
Yeah, a little puzzle game. And you can actually create your own mazes, even back then.
Really?
Yeah.
They were already giving creative flow.
Yeah. Very, and that's why I was always a Sega fan. They were very innovative. They were able, to take a lot of risks at their vision, and to some point it was their demise for doing stuff like that. So, but I always gave them respect. Like, hey, they had the balls to do it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. So we didn't. Nate and I, we weren't alive when NES and Sega Master System, but we did. I interacted with the NES after.
You guys weren't alive yet.
We were there. You were still floating around in my daddy's sack.
You weren't even a thought there, dude.
I might have been.
83 for NES, 86 for Master System.
My daddy was probably definitely thinking about something.
I was thinking about you though.
You know what I'm saying?
So after that, NES was like the marquee console, and so Sega was like, we got it. They hired this gentleman. I don't remember the full start time I had because I've had a lot of liquid courage today. But anyways, they brought him in, and he had a strategy to take down Nintendo. He said, "We want to take down Nintendo." They had a whole system, and the first big thing was we got to make it powerful, and they went with 16-bit, and they made the Sega Genesis, which came out in 1989,
called the Mega Drive in Japan.
Mega Drive in Japan. Yeah, because it was Famicom for Nintendo too, wasn't it? For a while,
the family computer.
And his strategy was, well, we got to do that. Then we had to make a mascot. We wanted more sports games, and then we wanted to basically put a campaign that would attack Nintendo. It was like Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah,
that was their whole thing. But they created their mascot Sonic to rival, and there's a whole story on how they came up with that. Are you a fan of Sonic?
Somewhat. And before we get into Sonic, do you know who the mascot was before Sonic?
That I don't know, because I'll tell you, I'll be honest, I don't know too much about Sega. I know they went with at first the concepts of the mascot was like a panda, and then they were like, no, this ain't gonna work, so then they went with the hedgehog, but I don't know if there was anything like big prior from that.
Yeah, do you know, if you don't know, that's fine, because hardly anybody, there was a character called Opa Opa.
Opa Opa.
Yeah, exactly. So nobody knows who the hell's Opa Opa. So he was a little flying spaceship, kind of like flowery character in a game called Fantasy Zone. And they made Fantasy Zone 2. It was originally Sega Master System. And he's just like this little pod.
Oh, he's kind of cute.
Yeah, a little pod. And what's crazy is to pay homage to it, if you ever played Phantasy Star Online, you have these mags. And some of the original mags were Opa Opa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tight.
That was the original mascot. And then, of course, Alex Kidd came a little more popular. Some people know who Alex Kidd was. Alex Kidd in Miracle World, Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, and High Tech World, all this stuff. Not all the games are very good. Miracle World's very good, and they're doing a remake of that. It's going to be available for download on Switch. But he wasn't really their official mascot. So you're right when they're like, "Hey, we need battle
an image.
Mario.
We need someone."
And he has the same colors as Mario, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Sonic the Hedgehog, who was made of the creator Yuji Naka, who Yuji Naka also did Phantasy Star Online, and that's why the whole homage part to it. But yeah, he came up with this hedgehog with, that could spin around, collect coins, super fast, had attitude, and that was Sega's whole
That was the big
approach.
thing, the attitude.
Was the
Nate,
attitude.
Did you know that the creator of Sonic, I forgot his name, I think you just said it right now, but
Yuji Naka.
Yuji Naka, you know where he got his main source inspiration to Sonic? He visited America and he was trying to figure out what teenage boys really enjoyed at that time in the essentially late 80s.
Was it Fun Dip?
It was roller coasters. And that's where he literally got his concept of Sonic from roller coasters. Just amusement parks.
I can see that. Definitely. I can see the inspiration in Sonic for that.
That's how, if you play the games, if you play Sonic, you see like they're like roller coasters at
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yep.
One thing that was cool that because I watched this documentary, it was on Netflix. You guys can watch it. It's called High Score, and then they have an episode with they talk about Sega. And one cool thing tidbit, and I think you would like this, Nate, because this type of game you're more of a fan of than either one of us here. But it's the origin of Madden. They talk about
now you're speaking my language.
He wanted sports games to come to the Sega Genesis, and they were 16-bit, so they were far superior from that. So anyways, they talk about how they started Madden, how the guy started EA. He wanted to create a football thing, and he partnered with John Madden, because Madden, I don't know if people know this, but he was afraid of flying. So he'd always take a bus or
Still does when he takes a bus.
Yeah. And so there was a time where he was going from Denver to Oakland, and he was on an Amtrak, and the creator, or the guy who essentially created EA, rode with him, and he's like, "Hey, what do you think about 7-on-7 football?" Madden was like, straight up, "Fuck no, can't do that. That's not football. You're creating stupid stuff, you know." So he told him, like, this is what you had to do, the proper team and all this other stuff. And Madden premiered. They figured it out. The engineers, EA, the guy, on Apple Mac. That's the first Madden game was on an Apple computer.
Oh, wow.
And then they were able to translate that to Genesis, because Genesis was 16-bit. It was the best system to translate it to.
And that was the first time I got my taste of Madden.
Yeah. And I remember that because I grew up not as a Genesis kid, unfortunately. I was more Nintendo. And I'm sorry, man.
No, it's okay.
But I would always go to my friend's house because I'd be like, well, you know what's funny? I always thought Genesis was superior. Like, I thought it was like high end. Like, you'd have to be rich to have it for some reason.
Like, if you had a Genesis in your house, it's like,
yeah, but it was
what
actually,
do your parents do?
Yeah, it was actually cheaper. It was $50 cheaper than a Nintendo.
Yes.
So I don't know for whatever reason, but I'm fucking Mexican. I'm first gen Mexican, so my parents don't know shit. And I would always go to his house, and I'd be like, man, why are the sports games, whether it was Madden, specifically Madden, but Madden, fucking golf, NBA, everything would just look amazing when it came to Sega, when it came to sports games.
It was a blast processing, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Dude.
It was, yeah. I mean, it comes down to the programmers, man. But yeah, you're right on Madden. It was revolutionary. I remember getting it in straight cutting class, going to my friend Lonnie's house, and he's never seen it before, and I popped it in, and the look on his face when we were playing it, he was like, no, this can't be
right.
Like, it has all the official players on there, their names, their numbers. I'm able to run them. I'm able to be them, and it doesn't sound like a big deal now because everybody's like, they expect that now, but back then that wasn't heard of. Before that, it was stick figures. You look at
Tecmo
track ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was like your most advanced football game was Tecmo Bowl.
And you had more than 8 people on the screen. It would start blinking and just start flickering out, and just like, all right, that was cool, but it still wasn't like official. You didn't have all the teams. You didn't have all the players. This
sound effects in there, the referee, and
everything,
all that stuff.
man, everything. It was just it was absolutely revolutionary. And when the little screens opened up with a different. With your receivers, you're able to see the little windows, A, B, and C, who to throw it to. It was crazy.
Yeah, because Sega had 3 buttons, and it was just the ABC button, and it was just, I don't know, the characters, the AI being able to run routes and everything was just amazing. Another cool fun fact about Madden, and then we'll move on, is did you know that it was anything before Madden 95, before that, because they did, I think, 92, 93, 94.
Was not officially licensed?
No, there was no black players.
Yeah.
So the way they brought a black player, just the color tone into the game was this guy who he was really into Madden. He was a fan. He was African American. He was gay, and he wanted to get a job at EA. And he would call, and they're like, no. And he literally went down the credits of EA and called every single person until he finally got a hold of one, and they gave him a chance. And
That's
in Madden
crazy.
95, he brought he literally pushed to bring the black skin tone into the characters. And it was the first time in Madden 95 is the first game that actually featured black and white people in a Madden game.
Yep.
It's insane. Just like crazy. And this is like, it's what for.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I, as you know, and I had all the Maddens, and I never really realized that till that documentary.
Yeah.
When I saw the documentary, I was like, wait.
Exactly.
I was like, holy crap, he's right.
Yeah.
There were just different shades of like white, a little bit grayish color, but he's right. There was no black players.
Black. No, it wasn't until and not only that, but on the cover it featured Madden because I guess I was alive, but I wasn't really like too in tune. I was a young kid, but Madden had this thing about always breaking through walls like the fucking Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
And on the cover you see him in there with Madden, and on the back side you see I don't know what teams they were, but it was an African American football player tackling someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time there was an African American on a cover of a video game. It was insane.
Nuts. And you were talking about how Madden said he was on the bus and he said no to the the 5-on-5 football.
7-on-7
7-on-7 football. He also did that later on because when the popularity of NFL Blitz came out, I don't know if you remember NFL Extreme.
Yep.
They approached John Madden again. EA did and said, "Hey, let's make our own version that will rival NFL Blitz, and we could do it 5-on-5, 7-on-7, what do you do?" And he said, again, he goes, no, that's not real football.
Yep.
If my name's going to go on it, it's going to be
Authentic.
11-on-11, true NFL football.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, props to him for sticking to his guns.
So 1989, Sega Genesis, and Super Nintendo a year later, or Nintendo, I should say, comes out with the Super Nintendo 1990. And that was the start. That's the official start of console wars because Genesis literally was created not only to accommodate Sega, but their battle plan was to take down Nintendo.
And I wouldn't say they took them down, but they did.
Oh, they did a significant dent.
They actually owned at one point 51% of the market.
Yeah, because before Genesis came out, I don't know if people know this, but before Genesis came out, Nintendo only owned 91% of the video game market.
It was ridiculous.
It's a monopoly, man. It's crazy.
Sure.
And this was the first time they were like the underdog, like, holy crap, we're losing. Mm-hmm. And, Madden had a huge Madden, NHL, all the EA sports titles, huge. But I think the biggest, most significant title to put Sega over the hump was Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
Yep. Mortal Kombat, it played as close to the arcade as you could do. As you could be at that time, and it had blood. You'd have to do the code for blood, the dollar.
Because Nintendo had it, but you turn it on, and they only featured, I think, blue and green.
Yeah,
I think it was mainly
green,
green,
like slime. Yeah,
and
it had all the fatalities identical to the arcade, and the exact same button combination that you did to the arcade. And they got so powerful with the Madden, the EA games, and Mortal Kombat, the true Mortal Kombat, that when all this stuff happened with the mature rated game, the ESRB
took off.
ESRB got crazy. I don't know if you remember or watched on the documentary. They kind of covered it, but the president of Nintendo at the time was actually in court fighting against mature rated games because he knew Nintendo was getting their butts kicked.
Yep.
Because Sega had the true Mortal Kombat, and he was trying to fight that. And it was, it's too late, brother. It's gone. You guys are under, man.
You're a day late and $1 short.
Yeah, man. You need to do a little, hit a mushroom and start powering up or something, man. Because you guys,
do some good
your butts kicked. But that was Mortal Kombat was freaking.
Mortal
huge,
Kombat
man.
took off big time. I remember that. I remember playing on Super because, full disclosure, Super is my all-time favorite console, even to this day. Mm-hmm. Nothing has replaced it. I just love the games, love everything. Grew up with it. There's so many like memories growing up as a child and just
fantastic
experience
system.
things that you just have. And Super is favorite, hands down. But for me, it's crazy how back then, like I said, I knew of Genesis. I never had one per se until later on. but those games made a big. You know what other games made a big impact for me was the games of the Strike games, like Desert Strike.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Those are EA too. Yeah, Desert Strike and Nuclear Strike, all that stuff.
Thunder Strike.
Yeah, the Thunder Strike. Yeah,
those games
because they had that 3/4 view, that helicopter. Yeah, those were tight, man,
dude. And
those were cool
for
games,
some
dude.
reason, I only saw them because my neighbor had them, and they was always on Sega, and I'm like, does Sega only have these? And oh my god, I love those games.
Yeah, a lot of reason why some of those EA games were on Sega was because of the licensing. Nintendo still had crazy licensing.
Really?
Yeah, man. If you had to get their seal of approval on their game before it was launched in their system, and that was pretty tedious from what I hear.
Well, that's right, because real quick segue. I remember in that documentary, I was watching the thing, and the guy was trying to make, there was I forgot the company, Aragon or something. They were trying to make a 3D gaming, and to be able to use, like, it was for Game Boy, they had to actually get a permission slip to actually be able to use their product. So they actually ended up just modding their own thing because Nintendo just had a tight
they had a
squeeze
tight grip on it. And then when they did put the official approval, they in essence got the profits as well. So it cut into it was that whole licensing fee. So it cut into the developers, and they're like, well, so we got to make so many and sell so many of this just to get this much profit, or we can go to Sega,
someone who's open,
or NEC with TurboGrafx, who's a little less stringent on their policies, and make more of a profit on less sales.
And Nintendo's still like that to this day.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense. They protect their property, and that's why they're to an extent.
And they have their characters that they protect, and it's a cash cow.
Yeah,
I mean, they survive doing it. So I mean, I understand, but at the same time, you look at you watch that documentary, you look at games like Doom and stuff like that. If there was all that licensing, then we may not be playing Doom today.
There's a shit ton of games we won't have.
Yeah, so there's pluses and minuses. I give Nintendo props for protecting their characters, not letting a bunch of crappy games come out, because you look at some of the games that Sega did do because they had phenomenal characters. They had phenomenal franchises that just kind of blew away, out, in the wind, like a fart in the wind, if you want to call it. But it's like what what happened to Alex Kidd? What happened to Shinobi? What happened to Wonder Boy? And now you're seeing a lot of these games come back as retro, but from not technically from Sega, from fans of Sega, and they're like, hey. Because they're like telling Sega, like, you guys had something freaking awesome here. So let's make Wonder Boy. Let's make Monster Land, which is essentially Wonder Boy, the new remake of Alex Kidd coming out. And and they're talking about like, oh, let's bring back Outrun. Let's bring back when's the next Virtua Fighter coming out? They have all these licensing that they don't do anything with. They got their thumb up their ass, man. It's like, but Nintendo's always been they've always been straight. Like they protect their franchise. They know what they want to do with it, and they plan ahead. It's not like just, we're going to make another Sonic game. We're going to give him a freaking sword and shield, and maybe he's selling tacos or something. It's stupid, dude. It's like, what are you guys making, man? Just make a legit Sonic game. But unfortunately, Yuji Naka is no longer with Sega, and so
it just kind of Well, we'll get to their unfortunate demise, and that's what kind of really.
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, man. But But yeah, no. So Genesis came out, and their competitor. So this was like the first official console war. Nate, did you have any of those consoles when you were younger?
I did. So my main console, I guess, started off was the Nintendo Entertainment System. Kind of sad. We ended up one day I get home from school and it's packed up, and we're giving it to my cousins. And I'm just like, what? Like, what did we do? Like, how bad did we fuck up? And then I remember my dad coming home one day, and he came home with the Super Nintendo with Mortal Kombat. And still to this day, because I love fishing, was Super Black Bass. That game is one of my all-time favorite games. Like, to this day.
That was Super Black Bass. Was that Natsumi made that?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then I remember playing the Sega Genesis at my cousin's house. He had one. We're playing Terminator versus RoboCop all the time. Game was fucking hard as shit. I probably still couldn't beat it to this day. And then I ended up getting one, and that's where my love for Madden came in, because I ended up finding one at a yard sale with 2 controllers, and all kinds of other games. The only game I actually remember playing all the time was Madden. And it just went from there.
I really liked Super Nintendo. I really liked the Killer Instinct version
Killer Instinct was
on
pretty,
Super Nintendo. I was kind of blown away because I played a lot of that in arcade, and of course I was waiting for the Ultra 64 to come out, which later became the N64. But in the meantime, they did release a version of it, and you know what? The Game Boy version wasn't bad neither.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. I played that.
It only had like 2 characters or whatever, or 2 or 3 characters, like full gore.
But they almost captured the full 3D effect of
They
the character
did.
design.
In little dot matrix screen, man. I was like, man,
insane.
this is impressive. Like, I didn't see who actually was the developer. I don't know if it was Nintendo.
I think that's one. I can tell you, I gotta look up the company was, but that documentary was the Error. God dang it, I think it was Aragon. I'm gonna look it up right now. But they're the ones that co-created Star Fox, and he was the one that was able to hack the Game Boy, and he found out how to make 3D screens within the game. And I want to say when he did that, because when he did that, that's when we were talking about earlier that he needed a permission slip because they couldn't get him a dev kit. And so Nintendo saw it, and they invited him over, and they're like, how the hell did you do this? Like, they didn't believe that he did it on a Game Boy, and then he showed him, and that's where they made the FX chip built into the games, and that's where Star Fox was one of the first games to have the FX chip built into it.
I know Rare was the
main one.
Rare was Killer Instinct.
Rare made Killer Instinct, but who did the Super Nintendo? Was it Rare?
The Game Boy or the Super Nintendo one?
Super Nintendo one. And then who did the...
I'll find out right now.
Who did both? I want to hear.
So Killer Instinct. Let's take a look.
Well, and a lot of people don't know that, but the Super Nintendo, a lot of the cartridges actually have processors in them.
Yeah, that's where they brought like the FX processor built on, so that way they can do those.
Well, not just that. We're talking about just overall graphics and some of the like the FX chip also had the scaling, had the rotation, all that stuff like F-Zero. But a lot of the Super Nintendo they actually have like chips inside to help the Super Nintendo come up with the image on the screen, because it's not. If you were to take the bare bones of the Super Nintendo system and the Sega Genesis system, it's the Genesis technically is more powerful, but Nintendo kind of found a trick, like, hey, we're going to put these chipsets inside the cartridges, and that's some reason why the Super Nintendo cartridges were a little bit more expensive. They actually had some chipsets in there to help the console process the information.
So it looks like
for the Game Boy, it was Nintendo published it, and it was developed by Rare.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
props.
hats off to them.
Yeah, because I was like really impressed by that. Because I was like, I think I was playing Gargoyles at the time, and I love the Gargoyles game on the Game Boy, and I was like, man. So my buddy Billy, what's up? If you're listening to this, but I remember he got Killer Instinct, and I was like, hey, you can't put Killer Instinct on the Game Boy. But man, I played it, and I was like, wow, they actually did it.
Yeah, it looks like Silicon Graphics are the ones that created the pre-rendered sprites and the backgrounds.
There you go.
And that was the critical thing, Silicon Graphics. And they're the ones that went off and made didn't they make Metroid? No. They made a big game on GameCube. Let me see.
I believe it was a little bit of a horror game.
Was it?
See if you remember.
Eternal Darkness?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that was a good game for GameCube.
Unless I'm wrong, fact check me.
I'll check it. Let's
checking.
Check. Eternal Darkness. I remember seeing their icon a couple times. So Eternal Darkness. Yep, Silicon Knights.
Hey,
developed them and published by Nintendo. On
Self
point.
high five.
Self high five.
That's nice.
That's where I saw them from. It was from that. Yeah, they worked with the Unreal 3 engine. So they made, let's see here. Oh, they don't really have a good track record. Oh, that's where I seen Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes remake for GameCube.
Oh, yes, I do.
That's the best fucking version of Metal Gear.
That was a good one.
Best version of Metal Gear. That's where I saw them. And after that, they made Two Human, X-Men Destiny, and then they fucking fell off.
I kind of like Two Human. I didn't like it at first, but the more and more I played it, I was like, it was cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember about Two Human was how bad they like shoved it down our throats.
Yes.
It's like
it's that
you want
marketing.
too human. They're like, what's it about? You just want it.
You're just too human, bro.
And that sucks. That's another moment where you had a good game with Eternal Darkness, but you never did anything further with it.
And then going back to Sega, man, like come on, man.
You have a good property. Take embrace. Don't milk the
man.
shit out of it, but make it right.
Do something with it. Quit letting your developers go.
So after that, there was a big race because CDs were becoming big in everything, not just for music, but then there was video and games. And there was a moment where Nintendo and PlayStation, Sony came to Nintendo and said, we can make a new system, CD-ROM, PlayStation. And Nintendo, being the way they are, they wanted full control. They're like, no, we're not going to work with this. So Sony said, all right, well, you know what? To say it in a very straight up way, they said, fuck you. And said, we're going to make our own thing. And in 1994 came out PlayStation. Followed, this is the next console war, Sega Saturn 1995, followed by Nintendo 64 in 1996. We entered the 32-bit era, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I never had a Sega Saturn. I know, you're probably super
I
disappointed.
got 4 of them in my room right now.
Yeah, we have to check this out. But I got a PlayStation, and I remember this. I got it for my birthday. I believe it was 1995. So I got it a year later, and the game that was given, I had a demo disc, obviously, because demo discs were fucking fantastic back then.
Oh, I miss those days.
But then I played the first Resident Evil, and then obviously I got a 64 because my older brother was a Nintendo guy. He had the NES, Super NES, and then 64. But I never had the Saturn. But in that that trifecta of a console war, what was like? You know more than we do. What was like the creme of the creme? I mean, obviously Nintendo was popularity, but with Sega, Saturn, and now the newcomer PlayStation, what took off?
Oh, PlayStation killed it right out of the bat.
Really?
Oh yeah. Being a huge Sega fan at the time, and always have been. The Saturn came out early. It pissed all the developers. I mean, all the retail shops off.
Early, like what do you mean? Like it just dropped early, or was it
dropped? It came
pre-developed?
It came out 3 months prior for sale.
Oh shit!
In stores, and it pissed. I keep saying developers. It pissed retailers off so much that KB Toy Store said, "Screw you, we're not selling your product."
No shit.
Because they weren't ready for it. Like, okay, it's like, just say, for instance, okay, tomorrow the Series X comes out.
Oh yeah, that would piss us off.
Oh yeah,
anybody who works in the industry, would be like, "Come on, man! Like, what are you guys doing? Like, we're not ready for this." Just like we want to build up the hype for it. We want to get whatever pre-orders, just have some kind of event, whatever it is. So it comes out early. It comes out about 3 months early, if I do recall. Ticks off a bunch of retailers, and Sony sit back and said, "No, our release date's this date." They had their little campaign. You are not ready. All this stuff going on, and it was like really cool because you're seeing these like these pages in these magazines, like the Game Pro, EGM. I think Game Fan was out there by that time, and you're like, "What is this? You are," and there's like a red E, and I was like, "You are not," and there's just a red E, and I was like, "Okay, you are not ready for what is this about?" And you start reading the fine print that says on the bottom, like Sony, like, okay, this kind of cool little like marketing campaign coming out, and then boom, they release it. And make no mistake that the Sega Saturn was not built for 3D. It just was not. They had a 3D chip in there, and I honestly think they probably added that at the very, very end because they got a sneak peek at E3 of what Sony was doing, and they're showing games like Ridge Racer, Battle Arena Toshinden, Jumping Flash, these Twisted Metal. And Sega's
holy
like,
shit, what are these games?
What the fuck?
They're still working with, Sega.
Yeah, and this is going back to EA. This was the only year that EA did not release a Madden because they saw NFL Game Day and they said, holy shit.
And Game Day was 989 Studios, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, they later became 99. But yeah, they didn't release a Madden that year because they're like, this is all polygonal characters. Like, we've never seen anything. Everything was 2D sprites, before that. And like, we can't compete with this. We got to go back to the drawing board. And they tried. And they tried to come out with a Madden that year, but they couldn't do it. It was whole new technology, and Sony was just
this
like
was 3D rendered at this point.
Yeah,
Like, this
completely.
was a whole new landscape.
yeah, and it was just like, oh man, they took off. And me being a huge Sega fan, I saw it. I was like, man, yeah, hell yeah, I want Toshinden. Hell yeah, I want Twisted Metal. Jumping Flash is like honestly one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite platforming games. I thought that first person view platforming I loved, and I know it. If anybody was to see my collection, you'd be like, why do you got this game? These are like kind of weird games. I have weird games because I really like originality. That to me will keep my attention more than
A sequel,
the same old
the
shit.
same old, yeah.
You know, the same third person shooter, camera over the shoulder. Here goes the bad guys. Yeah, I mean it's cool, but if you give something like A Dog's Life, I don't know if you guys ever played that, but A Dog's Life on PlayStation, like yeah, you're a dog and you're going around and you're sniffing, these different color scents lead to different people. You can go take a crap on somebody's like front porch. You can pee wherever you. And it's just stuff like that. Like,
But that's important because those are original IPs,
Yeah.
and you want to support these games because those games can then lead to like their actual creme. They start sometimes, most of the times, game studios they'll create a game, and it might be what they wanted to create it originally, but they put these little ones out to create a funding, get notice, and then that leads to their big IP and you're like, holy shit, this is what makes the studio.
yeah, I mean, you talk about PlayStation. You start off with, Sly Cooper, which they eventually make Infamous.
It's a Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch,
Sucker
yeah.
Punch made that.
Mhm.
Yeah. I had a little Easter egg here. Well, not Easter egg, but a little thing I wanted to play before. I forgot to play it beforehand because I'm just vibing, as they say.
Super vibes.
But before we started with the Saturn, I wanted to play this for you. That's the intro of the Saturn.
That is the intro. Yeah, man. So, I mean, Saturn had some really, really great games. In my all-time favorite series came from the Sega Saturn, which is the Panzer Dragoon series.
So I didn't play that until Xbox, but
Yeah.
I wish I played it back in Saturn. And did they make it for Dreamcast?
You can borrow one of my 5 Saturns I got, dude.
Dude, hell yeah! I'm
He's like, I'm game.
So Panzer Dragoon came out. It's a rail shooter.
It's a rail shooter. What that basically means is where the camera is on a set path, and you basically got to aim within the screen to eliminate things. And your Panzer Dragoon, you're basically on top of or you fly as a dragon, or you're on top of a dragon.
Yeah, you're on top of a dragon. You're a jockey on a dragon.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Essentially, yeah. And then and so it's a rail shooter, but you can still kind of choose your path. There's these like split areas. A la going back to if anybody, I'm dating myself, but if anybody's played the game Outrun, you can drive and there'll be a fork in the road. You could choose left, you could choose right. Panzer Dragoon has the same thing. It's just not as obvious. Like there's not a sign that goes, "Hey, you want to go left or right?" You just kind of like
drift.
You kind of drift and you take it, and you're like, "Oh man!" So you can play that game multiple times, and it has, I think, 20 different paths in the game. So you could play it multiple times and get something a little bit different. But yeah, so there's Panzer Dragoon. Then they came out with Panzer Dragoon Zwei, and that was actually a kind of a prequel to the first one. And it's funny. So you started off on a dragon, but you're actually on the ground. He doesn't have his wings yet. And that was the first game that, yeah. So he's like a little baby. You rescue him. He's like a little baby, and so you're running with him. He's on the ground, and then eventually you start. He starts growing, starts morphing from level to level, and his wings start growing, and then pretty soon he's able to fly. And I remember playing that game, and although I already played the first Panzer Dragoon, when I played Zwei, the part where he jumps off a cliff, and I'm like, holy crap! I actually get the sensation that you're falling, and I always remember that when I first played. I'm like, oh man, and you just got like that scared of heights feeling, and then all of a sudden his wings come out, and he starts flapping like a bird. Like really frantically, and eventually he just kind of takes off, and then you're like on the second level, and you're like, oh yeah,
and now you're
let's
like,
go, baby,
I'm back where I'm supposed to be.
And it kind of plays like Afterburner. Like there's enemies coming at you. You can lock on by holding the button down, or you can rapid fire the button, and it's just a great shooter. And I remember a lot of my friends who had PlayStation, Super Nintendo at the time, they would come over to my house specifically to play Panzer Dragoon because the lore of that game, a lot of people don't know. Like they created their own language for that game.
Really?
And yes,
Oh,
like The Sims?
It's like a mixture of Latin German, and they actually have like translation guides and all that stuff for it, man. It's
Really?
great. There's a huge community about Panzer Dragoon.
Is there a college course like Klingon?
Yeah, I wish. Kapla. I wish, dude. You are God.
So would you say that this generation, and honestly, I mean,
Japanese and Latin.
Japanese land,
Japanese and Latin, sorry.
Would
No,
you
there's some German in there because it's Panzer Dragoon.
Panzer.
Zwei. That's German, dude. That's German.
would you say this was like the first definitive like jump from when we see a console to the next console? Like you can literally see clear as day. There's a next gen evolution to it.
For PlayStation, yes. For Saturn, no.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. Because Saturn, again, it was 2D. It was built for 2D. Now, the Saturn was a 2D freaking monster.
Really?
You get games like there's games that they made. There's a lot in Japan that they made. It was obviously way more popular in Japan. The Saturn was, and in Europe. But there's like some 2D games on there that the PlayStation just literally cannot do because it was more built for
Or 64 because 64 was a full jump to 3D.
for 3D. Yeah, it was all polygonal. So you try to throw sprites on these things, and it's like, okay, they can kind of do it. But anybody who's played something like you see a game like the Legacy of Kain series, the original ones are kind of like overhead 2D, and you see it on the Saturn, and it's just like, it's so crisp, it's so clean. 2D side scrollers, games like, Guardian Heroes, who was made by Treasure, the team that did Gunstar Heroes on Genesis.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so fluid. The Macross games, which is Robotech in America. I mean, you see that stuff, and you're like, man, where are these games at? It was just a 2D freaking monster. And I think a huge mistake that Sega did, and you played the song earlier called Proto Culture, and Dell says this lyric where he says Bernie Stolar dropped a ball with a RAM cartridge. X-Men versus Street Fighter could have expanded the market, and he was right, because the Sega Saturn at the time, they had this RAM cart expansion that was in Japan, and it brought all the arcade fighters, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, the straight up X-Men game, Street Fighter Alpha 3, arcade perfect, no loading
to console,
and
Wow.
you can cross over your characters. So again, on the PlayStation, you can play X-Men vs. Street Fighter, but the only way you can cross over your characters is if each of you choose the same team.
Oh shit! Okay.
So say you're, I don't know, like Ryu. Like if you had Ryu and give me another
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li. Okay, I was to say give me an X-Men character.
Oh, okay. So Ryu and Gambit.
Okay, Ryu and Gambit, and then Nate. If you're Ryu and Gambit, you guys can cross over all you want because the characters are preloaded.
And it's the same, so the information is traveling perfectly fine.
Perfectly.
But
That makes sense.
but if I wanted to be Guile and Wolverine, and he was the Chun-Li and Gambit, it wouldn't
Can
work.
cross over.
Holy shit, that's terrible.
So on the Sega Saturn, you could. It had a format cartridge that you popped in the back because there was a cartridge slot on the Saturn, and you can choose anybody you want. I'll have you guys play it later. So you can be like Spider-Man and Ryu. You can be what's the name, Cyclops and Chun-Li. Crossover all you want. All you want. Do the supers all you want. No loading. Arcade perfect.
I would have been pissed as a kid if I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you mean?
I don't want to be fucking Wolverine. I want to be Spider-Man.
Right?
Yeah, and then Bernie Stolar, who was president of Sega at the time, said no because they were going to bring it to America. Say, hey, we can bring all these fighters, arcade perfect. We got the arcade sticks, every Japanese style, American style with the sticks, everything you want. He's like, nope, because he was so afraid of the whole add-on aspect because of the previous generation with the Sega Genesis where they did the CD,
Yes.
the 32X, you know, the master converter where you could play the Master System games and all that stuff, and the different versions of the CD. He was afraid of that, so he just axed it, and he killed it. I mean, Sega was already struggling. Don't get me wrong; they were already struggling at the time. But could you imagine if they brought that and how big, like Marvel vs. Capcom and all that stuff became?
Oh,
those were
shit.
the origins of it.
Yes.
It was arcade perfect. I still to this day, I Alpha 3, Street Fighter Alpha 3, one of my favorite fighting games. The best version. I'm sorry, Sega Dreamcast. The best version is the Saturn by far.
Really?
Oh, it's so clean, dude.
Yeah, just to circle back, just for listeners, Sega. So from Sega, they went from Master System to Genesis to Saturn, but in that time between Saturn and Genesis, there were so many add-on expansions that your freaking Genesis almost looked like a fucking transformer because you would add a Sega CD attachment to the side, then you would add the turbo, turbo, not turbo graphics, 32X, that which plugged in where the cartridge would go, and then the cartridge would plug in on top of that.
And if you had Sonic and Knuckles, so the Sonic and Knuckles, remember that was an expansion cart, so you can have all right, on the bottom you had the original Sega CD, then you had your Genesis, then you had your 32X, then you had the Sonic and Knuckles, and then you had Sonic 3 on top of that. It was like a it was like a ridiculous, like
you're building a fucking building. Yeah. It was insane.
What is this, dude? It was like a freaking double club sandwich.
Yeah. Playing Minecraft before Minecraft,
right? You're just building and building and building.
And it's funny because when Sega released the Sega Mini, the Genesis Mini, the Mega Drive Mini in Japan, they actually made fun of themselves and they released the little expansions.
No shit.
They don't work, but I mean,
because I just bought
novelty.
the Sega Mini, the 16. I just bought it the other day because I felt to prep up. I just wanted to get all full in, and I noticed that the fucking thing, like, there's a slot.
There's a slot, yeah. So they made fun of themselves, and they have it. You could buy them.
No shit.
You can import them, yeah, man. So you can get like the little, and it's the original version 1 Sega CD. You put it on the bottom of your Mini, and you get the little 32X thing like that. You can get the Sonic, and they sell a bunch of the little cartridges in Japan. Kind of like collector stuff, kind of like carts.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just like, there's Shining Force, and you can pop that in there, and it's just for looks. But
wow.
Yeah, they're essentially making fun of themselves, which is awesome.
And then, you know what? One thing I want to kind of trickle back. One thing about Genesis that always threw me off when I played it, because when I went to my neighbor's house, and this was before, it was around the same time as Super. But one thing was, when I first played Genesis, I didn't play the 3 ABC controller. I had the 6 button, and it had the 2 bumpers. And when I played that, I was like, this is fucking amazing because there's so many buttons in the. I'm like, dude,
best D-pad, best fighting gamepad.
Yeah, because you had high, low. For when you did fighting games, you had the high, low, and you had all the button layouts.
I remember first playing that, and I was just like, wait, there's not just a single punch button or a single kick button. Like,
no, you had all the buttons.
Yeah, you had 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. You had the little mode button on the right corner, but that D-pad is still to this day. Like I imported the Japanese ones for my Switch. They're Bluetooth, so it'll work on your Switch. It'll work on your PlayStation 3, and then you could buy the adapter where you can plug it in other stuff too. But yeah, 6 button controller for my Mini, and it's by Sega, everything. But yeah, man, that controller to this day is my all-time favorite.
That's one of my favorite, definitely one of my top 5 favorite controllers and home consoles.
The Saturn one was really good too, but that Genesis one, man, I don't know what, just that little boomerang feel to it. It just
felt good.
Little tiny A, B, and C.
I remember playing
X, Y, and Z, and then the bigger A, B, and C.
I remember playing Lost Vikings on there.
Made by Blizzard.
Yeah, and dude, it was it played better on there than on Super. Like I cannot play it on Super whatsoever. I had to play it on Sega because the 6 buttons made a whole difference, especially if you play by yourself, because Lost Vikings, you play as 3 characters at once if you play by yourself. And so rotating the characters and each one had their own ability, it just works so well with the 6 button controller versus not having that.
Yeah, and then after, friends would come over, because we just always play Street Fighter, of course, on the Super Nintendo. But I just could not hit those shoulder buttons, man. And I used to always tell them, I used to get my butt kicked, and I was like, okay, let's go to arcade, man.
I'll fuck you up at the arcade. Let me get your quarters, man.
Put your quarters on the deck.
And I wasn't the best, but I knew I was better, at least on that, because I had the joystick. But I would always tell them, like, wait till it comes on Genesis. Wait till it comes on Genesis. When it comes on Genesis, I'm going to beat you. And sure enough, comes on Genesis, I get my 6 button controller. Dude.
It's game over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. With that 6 button controller and a fighting game, it was game over for anybody. So PlayStation 94, Saturn 95, Nintendo 64 96. I guess safe to say, or agreeable to say, that PlayStation and Nintendo 64 were the official next-gen jump at that time to full 3D. Mm-hmm. Saturn was still living in the past. So that led to one of the craziest times, and it's unfortunate a lot of people didn't get to live through this. They might have been alive, but they didn't really comprehend it. I sure as hell didn't comprehend some of it because I grew up as a Nintendo kid, and then I was growing up as PlayStation. But 1999, Dreamcast.
99.
Which, by the way, let me play this.
I missed the Dreamcast.
The year 2000, PlayStation 2. The year 2001, Nintendo GameCube. And just before, a few days before Nintendo GameCube, newcomer to the world, Microsoft Xbox. 4 consoles, 4 wars. What I got to live PS2. I actually got it. I never. I grew up at that point. I was all about Nintendo and, like I said, PlayStation. My brother was in the military. He actually went to Japan overseas. He was training. He came home from his training with a PlayStation 2 from Japan. So I had my first PS2 was an actual Japanese PS2. It was fucking amazing. And then eventually I got a GameCube because I had to get a GameCube because Nintendo. But I got to be honest, Nintendo or GameCube just fucking, it just didn't hit me like all the other previous Nintendos. That was like the first console that started to kind of drift away from Nintendo. And then one Christmas, my brother comes home, or for Christmas, he gets me an Xbox with the S controller, not the Duke, as they call it now.
The Duke.
And inside it came bundled with Star Wars Clone Wars and Tetris and one disc. But then he also threw in the box Halo, which fucking revolutionized first-person shooters for me outside of Doom, and Star Wars Knights of the Republic.
Ooh,
I never got a Dreamcast, though. But this was Dreamcast's demise. And I'm curious. I've always heard the story. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I've always heard the story that Dreamcast's demise, one of the big reasons was they had a logo, and it was similar to, in the UK, I guess there was a construction company that had the same concept of logo, and they were able to sue each individual Sega subsidy buildings for the same thing, or companies for the same thing, which then at that point, that's where they said, no, if you're going to sue someone, you have to go to the parent company, not that. And that's what I always heard the rumor was, their demise of Dreamcast. Now, you're more Sega than me. Is there any validity to that? Or was that just hoopla, or maybe that had something to do with it? What was Dreamcast's fault, and what was Dreamcast in general? Because there's a lot of people out there that don't know what the fuck a Dreamcast is, but it was pretty much probably, the superior Sega console of all time?
Yeah, I would have to put that up there as definitely not their most successful, although it had a lot of early success. As far as the lawsuits and all that stuff, I don't know, because Sega was incorporated at the time, and whenever you're a corporation or incorporated, you can sue, but you can't sue individually.
And that was the loophole that I heard, is that the guys were able to find how to sue each one. So Sega America, Sega Japan, Sega this, and it was basically a lawsuit times 3 or 4, whatever it was.
Yeah, I
got to look in. I got to research it.
Yeah, I would have to look into that too. I think primarily. Just from being in the industry already at that time and seeing what was going on, I think a lot of it had to do with piracy. They were able to crack because they had a GD-ROM, not a CD-ROM, so they're actually able to hold a game.
They weren't using DVDs also, because PlayStation was using DVD-ROMs.
The original PlayStation was CD. PS2 was using DVD. Yes. Yeah. So they were using GD-ROMs, which was kind of like, it's It holds up to a gig of memory. It's not quite DVD, but the problem is it wasn't proprietary. They didn't own the technology.
Oh.
And then what people found out was, hey, this data that you're putting on this GD-ROM doesn't really need a gig. We can fit it on a CD. And so they're able to pirate a lot of games. That's why you don't see all games pirated on CDs. Some don't fit because some games that are like really huge in data, like Record of Lotus War or something like that, they might have trouble putting that on a CD-ROM because there's so much data. But they're able to put a lot of games on CD, burn it, literally no booter or anything, or you can use the Game Shark at the time, and you can, just copy your own games.
So would you say in the last console war, Nintendo and PlayStation, Nintendo 64 and PlayStation, they were ahead of the curve. They were revolutionary. Sega Saturn was behind. Did Dreamcast catch up at this point? Because I hear a lot of times now, between the 4 consoles, I don't have personal experience with Dreamcast, so I'll avoid it. So if I had to go with PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, for me, Xbox, in terms of graphical power and everything it did, Xbox was top, followed by GameCube, and then PS2. PS2 just had the games that everyone was familiar with. Where did Dreamcast fit in that kind of, like, does that 3 concept, does that make sense to you? Or, because like I said, I don't know where Dreamcast fits. I never had one.
Yeah, so what was the release date for Xbox?
So 99 for Dreamcast, 2000 PS2, 01 for Xbox, and then like a week later GameCube.
Yeah, so I think Dreamcast already threw in the towel by then. Really? 2001, yeah, because the Dreamcast only lasted, I want to say 99, 2000, 2001. I think it was only like 2 years before the publishers started pulled a plug on it.
Why did they pull the plug? Because I always hear, like, for example, again, I don't have one. I never played it, but I always heard like Resident Evil Code Veronica. Oh yeah, the best. Dreamcast is the best version ever.
Well, it's the Dreamcast was very innovative. All right, so let's go from the beginning. So when the Dreamcast first came out, it was the first console ever to release with a modem. Now it was a 56K modem at the time, but
so that's the old school AOL shit.
But they did release a broadband. They did release a broadband adapter for it. Yeah, see, 2001. Yeah. It was the first one to have online connectivity
because they had Phantasy Star Online.
They did have Phantasy Star. Mm-hmm.
That went with that.
There was the first game to play Tony Hawk. They actually had Tony Hawk where you can actually play online. They were the first console to do that.
No shit. People
forget about that. Yeah, you could play Tony Hawk.
I did not know that.
Yep, that was the first one. And then they had other stupid games like Penguin Race, or I forgot what it was called. But they were the first one to do that. You can hook up a keyboard and mouse to it, so you're able to play Doom.
Doom PC style, basically.
Doom PC style. Unreal Tournament. Tournament, keyboard and mouse.
Big.
Yeah.
Typing of the Dead. You had all these games. Rez. There was a game called Rez, which eventually came to PlayStation 2 and then later on to the PS4 VR. You're able to play that with a mouse, and it was just like so intuitive. So they had that before anybody. You were able to hook it up to a VGA adapter, so you can hook it up to your computer for higher resolution, which is it was slightly less than 720p at the time, but you were still able to do that. So if you had bigger TVs that had the PC port, yeah, you can hook it up to it. I mean, they were just way ahead of their time. They had a system link to it, so you very very similar to the first generation PlayStation 2s with a FireWire.
What did it have, real quick, on the controller? I remember it has a slot where did it have LCD?
2 slots.
Oh, it had 2 slots.
Yeah, 2 slots. Yeah, one for VMU. Well, you could technically put 2 VMUs if you wanted to, but primarily it was a VMU, which is a visual memory unit that plugged in on top, and then you could put the Rumble Pack on the bottom of that.
Okay.
So you had your vibration if you needed it. Then you had your VMU, and what I really liked about the Dreamcast, it's subtle, but it's cool. The wire came from the bottom of the controller. Yeah. But if you wanted to, you can push it to the top, and it had this little pincher that you can pop it, and so the wire seemed like it came from the top too. It's just like innovative. They had analog triggers on it, analog stick, of course. You had the the 4 buttons on the right, and then your VMU had 2 buttons on it, and then a sleep and I believe a select button on it as well. And the VMU, innovative in itself. You were able to, like for NFL 2K, you were able to design your own football plays on it.
Oh shit!
Like you literally take it out.
It
was
like
like
interactive.
Yeah, because it actually had control buttons to it.
Yeah,
right?
it had control buttons.
Where I don't remember. Weren't there some games where you can actually put it on the VMU and continue to play it straight from your controller?
Yes. So I would bet people, and this is a true story. And for my friends out there, Marco, Steve, you know what I'm talking about. I would play people in Virtua Tennis, and I would turn my back to the main screen, and I would play them off my VMU, and I would beat them. And they were like, "How are you doing this?" I'm playing off VMU, and it was just a dot matrix screen, little green, kind of a la Game Boy, but it was pretty accurate. And some games like Sonic the Hedgehog, you were able to save it was a Chow. You were able to save your Chow to this thing, then take the VMU out and use it like a gigapet and raise your own Chow. And there's another game like Seaman, you're able to do that too. But it was just like innovations like that. And then later on, the Neo Geo Pocket came out, and it had a connection to the Dreamcast. And that was the first time it was like console crossover. Mm-hmm. It was like a Sega hooking up to an actual SNK system for games like King of Fighters, and you were able to unlock characters on King of Fighters on the Neo Geo Pocket, and then put them into the King of Fighter games or the SNK versus Capcom games on the Dreamcast. It was awesome, man. The system link, the twin sticks, the guns.
What's crazy is that it had so much innovation, but the fact that it still failed is just baffling.
Do you think so? What you just said right now, Nate, Lou, do you think it failed because it was ahead of its time?
I think a little bit. I think a lot of that. I don't think people were really ready for it. And when I say that, there's kind of proof behind it, because you look at some of the Dreamcast games that came out, a lot of people didn't buy because they didn't really know kind of what it was. And then you look at the evolution of the PlayStation 2 eventually into the PS3. with, not too many people did the System Link with the Time Crisis and the Firewire and all that stuff. But you look at later on the success that games like Crazy Taxi, stuff like Phantasy Star, later on, some of these online games.
and Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, Jet Set Radio. Well, I don't think Jet Set ever came on PlayStation at the time, but
no, that's right. It did Xbox.
But you look at some of these games that came on, like Marvel vs. Capcom. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I got MVC 2 on the PlayStation 2. Dreamcast version blows it away.
Yeah.
It's not even close.
Like I said earlier, Resident Evil Code Veronica came out, if I remember correctly, I have to fact check it, but it was exclusive to Dreamcast.
It was, yeah.
And then they made they ported it to PS2 for
Code
it was
Veronica
called Code
X.
X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed one of the characters. I forgot it wasn't Leon, but
Billy.
they changed his.
It was
was
the
it?
kid.
Yeah, they changed his voice so it was less annoying. Like
Yes. but it looked. I remember I saw like gameplay and it fucking looks superior. Like it just looks so much cleaner. Because honestly, like again, Lou, you actually have a Dreamcast. In terms of graphical power, PlayStation, out of those 4 consoles, I feel PlayStation was the shittiest one out of all 4 of them.
It depended on your connection. If you had, because a lot of people didn't know about component video and all that stuff at the time. If you have a component video and you knew how to put your game into basically progressive scan on the PlayStation, because there were some tricks that you had to do for certain games, it looked better. But I still say, Dreamcast to this day, certain games, if you hook it up to a VGA adapter, it holds its own. Like you could play games like Techromancer. You put in games like Soul Calibur, and yeah, you could see it's dated because of the polygon count. But as far as clarity,
at the time with the clarity, yeah,
you put in like Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio. I mean, they still look fantastic, dude. Yeah. And it's just it was just before its time. And I think a lot of it had to do with inner quarrels with Sega. So you were talking about Sega of Europe, Sega of Japan, Sega of America. They were at each other's throat at that time because they were their own entity, but yet they could not come to a common agreement. Like, hey, let's do this. So you had companies that were kind of like partial. So like Smilebit are the people they made the Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio, all these very creative games, but they had to like rework everything for a Japanese audience, and then had it get it licensed, specifically for American audience. It's what it's called Jet Grind Radio in America, and it's just like stuff like that. It's like, man, if they could just come together, one person running everything, agreement, this is what we're going to do, go forward. I think they would have been a lot more successful. I don't know if they would have stopped the juggernaut of PlayStation 2, but as Nintendo has proven, it's not really about everybody else. It's about us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Focus on what you can do. It's not 1990, 1993 where it's like, hey, our competitor's Nintendo, let's take them fucking out. Right. Now it's just like, let's focus on us and do what we got to do to progress.
Get their name back out there.
And going back to their characters, if you look at some of the stuff that and some of the characters and their properties that they had available, they did not exploit them or even given them chance on the Dreamcast. There was no Shinobi on Dreamcast. There was no Alex Kidd or Wonder Boy. Some of these games that that gave Sega their name. They didn't come up. They were supposed to come out with a Space Harrier game on it. They never did. They never came out with Afterburner. It was all these like talks about coming out with it, and we're going to bring this franchise back, and they should have. And I think it would have grabbed a lot of the Sega fans back.
There would be consistent. I mean, with Nintendo, every console that Nintendo makes, there's going to be a main Mario game, and they only make like almost for most of the time just the one.
Yeah,
and it's just every console. And Sega didn't really have that. They always had to change it up a bit.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads to earlier what you said, where they didn't have that proper leadership, where it just it gave them the open source of things, where instead of saying, no, this is the structure, that's why Nintendo was so strict on their shit, you had to get permission slips down there to do anything, where Sega was like, no, we'll let you freely do anything. But at the same time, that led to everyone just kind of doing their own shit, and now you're like, well, we're kind of fucked.
Yeah it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it was just weird. Go ahead.
Because it shows that March 31st, 2001 is when they discontinued Dreamcast, and that was after they got a new change in leadership, and they decided to withdraw from the console business and then just restructure themselves as a third-party publisher.
Yeah.
And that's
when they came out with all the shitty Sonics.
Yeah. But, I mean, I mean, let me see here. I mean,
and it kept them alive. They're still going. From last time I checked, they're a profitable company. And
as a publisher, they're still doing.
Yeah,
good.
the publisher, they're good. But I mean, I just miss their innovation, man, on the consoles, man.
Do you think? I mean, in this climate,
I mean, you were able to play. Going back to console crossover, it wasn't even console, but you were able to play people in Doom and in Unreal Tournament on PC.
The crossplay.
Yeah,
they
were the first to do it, and now people are talking about, I can play I can play
Fortnite
PS4
on Xbox, the PlayStation, or Call of Duty Warzone.
Wow. Yeah, dude, Sega was doing this back in 2000,
and that's what I think. I think they were way ahead of their fucking time.
They were.
19.
They had a web browser.
$99.99 is when they released the Dreamcast, and I think that why fucking 2K, man, that was just way too much for people.
My niece was born that day too.
$99.99.
Catalina, yeah.
That is the most awesomest date to have as a birthday. So before we get closer to next gen, where a lot of people, younger audience that we have will start to realize, I think we need to go. We're doing the cucumber. What was this?
Oh, cucumber. Yeah. So what we're drinking right now, we're drinking a beer. It's called Cucumber Kolsch. It's a specialty ale. It's an ale brewed with cucumber and mint from Highwater Brewing. I want to give a special shout out to Steve Altamari for introducing me to this. They have a brewery here in Northern California, in Lodi, California, Highwater Brewing. Fantastic beer. What do you guys think about it?
It's absolutely delicious.
Dude, listen. I killed this fucking thing. Nate, do I kill my beers?
Never.
I killed this thing. I'm ready for the next innovation of what you got.
For the chocolatey? Well, I'm going to step away. I'm going to let you guys speak, and I'll chime back in.
Yeah, definitely. So, Nate.
Oh, sorry, I was finishing my beer.
Yeah, you got to kill that real quick. So, man, in this time, NES, Sega Master, Genesis, Super NES, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Nintendo 64, Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox, GameCube. What was your console like in that time frame? This is literally from 83 to 2001.
So I'd honestly have to say it'd be between two. It'd be between the Super Nintendo because of the nostalgic feeling that comes with that. There's also the time I actually can remember playing with my dad. So it holds a special place in my heart. But
that's the beauty of games like that. Right? Those are the memories, the shit that you can pinpoint.
I literally
in life.
can remember my dad coming home. I was sitting in the kitchen. He comes home. He goes, my nickname was Butch, by the way. No one knows this. My nickname
Butch?
Yes.
I don't know this.
No one knows this.
I'm going to call you Butch.
My wife doesn't even know this.
Let's see. First fucking insider dibs TMZ in this bitch.
TMZ with the hot news. He goes, Butch, look what I got. And he pulls out Mortal Kombat. I remember sitting there. I was like, super stoked to play with him, right? Him whooping my ass and me crying about it.
Literally crying?
He literally did that freaking, it wasn't even a cheat, but where you would get someone into a corner and just constantly punch.
Oh, when you're like on the side of the screen and you can't get up, you can't do
nothing.
Yeah.
In the air, just
fucking
bouncing.
cheaters.
Yeah. And I was like, fucking asshole, right? But ultimately, it was the Xbox. So I got my first Xbox. I never owned a brand new console at all.
Really?
Yeah. Mine were always, bought at yard sales or secondhand and things like that. It wasn't until the Xbox One where I actually had a brand new console.
Okay. We'll dive down into a little bit later,
right.
but that was your first console.
The original Xbox was my console, and it was the same thing, Halo.
Fucking Halo,
dude,
man.
Halo revolutionized FPS for me. Like, that's back when Sega came out with Madden and got my love for football games. That's what Halo was to me with the Xbox and FPSs.
Yeah, Xbox did something to me in my life.
What did it do?
The future.
Did it touch you?
I'll talk. It did touch me in certain ways. But we'll talk about that once.
Show me where on the console.
Once we get our guests back. But for sex, he said it's a sex box. So PlayStation, the original PlayStation is always going to have a very special place in my heart. A lot of people think that I'm a hater to PlayStation, and we'll get to it down the road. Why not necessarily a hater, but I'm just like, But there's something special about PlayStation in 1994. I got it in 95. That just, it did to me. It was revolutionary because I'm going from Super Nintendo, which was my all-time favorite console to this day. And then I'm going to PlayStation and Nintendo 64, mind you. And like I said, Nintendo was more my older brother stuff. But that PlayStation, man, it fucking did so much to me. So Super NES, PlayStation, and 64 in that time frame was great, and then Xbox is what really changed gaming in my life. But yeah, man, Super Nintendo, all time. Favorite game, I think actually this like eclipses everything. The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past is my favorite game. I to this day, like if I were to put all games together, that's the game. So before we go,
did you just pour us a dessert?
Yeah,
what are we?
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
what is this?
Yeah, so I'm back, guys, and Link to the Past, probably my favorite Super Nintendo game.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, to this day, like I can play it, and for the most part, like 98%, I remember everything in that game.
98?
98.
89%.
89.
We're drinking a coffee peanut butter cup porter.
Say that 5 times fast, Rick.
I can't even say it once.
89.
88.
88.
It's out of Waunakee, Wisconsin. It's Campanology Brewing.
And this is this what you call a dark ale?
That's what I call sexual chocolate.
Oh my goodness. It's about to get heavy today.
Yeah, so this is a porter. It's a dark beer. Very dark. It smells absolutely delicious.
It smells like a peanut butter cup.
I'm a little concerned because the logo here shows a bell, like a Liberty Bell, with a seahorse in it, but like half the seahorse is in there. So are we going to get some seahorse shit in here? Or what is this?
Yeah.
They make it with sea monkeys.
Yeah. Saddle up, cowboy.
We going for a ride. We're going to go into next gen real good. All right. So before we take a sip, salute, guys.
Salute.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. You guys didn't tap again.
I tapped.
I didn't swallow. Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Nate, what do you think?
This is more Nate shit than me.
Nate.
Oh my God, this is thick.
That's what she said.
Yeah, she did.
Oh my God.
Wait, is this your first time having this?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
This is your first time drinking
yeah.
this? Coffee, peanut butter cup porter.
Okay.
It's like my grandma gave me a Werther's Original.
I definitely taste coffee, and I hate coffee.
It's like the coffee flavored Werther's Originals. Mm-hmm. They have those, right? Or am I just imagining?
No, they do.
Okay, yeah. That's exactly what it tastes like. But also with a... it kind of has a bite at the end, and I like it.
I don't know if that's got to be the alcohol. I mean, what the percentage is this? This is
like
delicious,
14,
dude.
14%?
Oh God, I hope not.
So
no, it's only 9%.
Wow, that is. Now I can see us enjoying it with a. What did it say? Chocolate covered ice cream?
It's just, I think that'd be too sweet. I don't know. So for me, if I drink something that's kind of sweet, and then I eat something sweet, the next time I drink something, all I taste is alcohol.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
So with this, I would, if I was to pair, which I don't typically do, beer pairing. I usually pair a beer with another beer. But
That's the best pairing.
It's the best pairing. But if I was to, I'd do fruit.
Yeah,
I would do like strawberries or something like that.
with tahini.
Yeah, maybe a celery stick. Do a little peanut butter on celery, little ants on a log or whatever.
With a raisin.
Yeah, with the raisins. Dude. I would do that. I made that for my niece one time. I was like, yeah, when they're little, I was like, yeah, check this out. And they're looking at me like, what is this? And I was like, yeah, just take a bite.
Okay, I'm returned.
I eat them all. They're so delicious.
This is more of a Nate beer than me. I don't drink coffee, and this tastes pure coffee.
No, this is definitely a.
This tastes like pure gasoline.
So I'm gonna say this is most likely a very good beer or ale or whatever it is.
If you don't like it, I'm sure we'll drink your.
Yes, you probably will. I'm gonna take a couple sips here, but I'm getting fucked up.
Spit that shit out, man.
I try, man. Don't yell at me. What did you bring me here? What is this? A Sega?
That's the Sega CDX, brother.
Holy shit! Compact disc.
Yeah. So that right
come with
there
headphones?
is the Sega Genesis with the Sega CD built in.
Wait, how do you?
So not only
This thing took 2 AA's?
yeah, it's portable as well. It's a portable CD player.
It's like a Walkman
Really?
before a
Yeah.
Walkman.
Hence Sega innovation. They did shit like this, man. And yes, you could put a 32X.
Oh, okay. I see right here. So there's a slot up top where you can put the
32X.
The 32X.
No,
then
the
Sega Genesis game.
Genesis game. Oh, you could put a 32X to it. It would work.
So wait, so this right here in itself is the console?
That is a console. That is a Sega Genesis with the Sega CD.
I'm going to take a screenshot for this to share with our people so they can see what we're talking about at this point.
Screenshot the Sega itself?
Yeah. Wow.
Well, there's no other buttons on it. It doesn't even have a screen.
The downfall to that console is that power button. It's at the very tip, like a nipple. And
the power button. Oh, yep. I see.
And if you were like playing and you went to go change the cartridge,
you bumped it,
or the Sega CD, it just powered off.
Wow.
But it has.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. So it has the audio, video out. You have audio input, so you can put your headphones to it.
What's the side jack there?
Is an AV out.
It's AV out. In your power cords.
Oh, like S video almost.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, you could do S video.
So obviously, you guys can't see this, but I'm holding this in my hand, and this kind of looks like if you had to rewind DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like those, those VHS
the VHS rewinders.
Be kind rewind.
Yeah, this looks like something you would rewind.
Hey, I don't know,
DVDs
man.
with.
My VHS rewinder I had was a fucking red sports car.
I was saying, mine was a 57 Chevy. Dude.
Yeah, I remember those for sure.
That's fucking crazy.
This is a piece of history right here, dude.
Oh yeah, this is a museum up in here. We're gonna have to
line out phones. Dang, not even headphones, just phones.
Yeah, man. And then you had the volume control and everything on it.
Wow.
Yeah, just like I said, batteries. You could take it as a portable CD player, man, like a Walkman or CD disc boy.
Can you imagine someone walking around with this right now? It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Like you don't know.
About?
You don't know.
I'm retro, bro. You don't know about this.
Yeah. Hey, everyone's in the fucking retro age right now, so might as well.
If you look at the very front, you'll see the two Genesis control.
Yeah, the
ports.
control ports.
Control 1 and Control 2.
Yep.
Dang.
Yep. Super compact. So just think about that. You had the Sega CD, which was basically
what year was this? Real quick?
A waffle iron.
April 1994 manufactured.
94.
And then you had the Sega Genesis, and it's shrunk down to that size back at that time.
In 1994. That's fucking crazy to have in 94.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a toll-free number on here. You think we should give it a call later?
Is it 1-800-USA-SEGA?
It is.
See, I used to call that number all the time when I was a kid. I would just listen to the I guess the Sonic song.
My wife said she used to call a number to get I don't know what it was for
time.
No, it was
Popcorn?
it was pro tips. It was just to get pro tips. It's for like a game. It's like, I need help on the game. So, you would call back then, fucking charge you $1 a minute or some shit. And now it's like you got fucking YouTube and all
Call
this
Miss
crazy
Cleo.
stuff. So
Call me now.
we were talking about Dream.
It's Cleo. You should get sued like through the ass.
Call me now, man.
I see your future, man. Call me now. You're in trouble.
Shit. How does she know?
So we talked about Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox, GameCube. Now, one thing that Dreamcast did, but it was ahead of its curve, but Xbox did, and it was fucking amazing. And this is what really sucked me into Xbox. And to this day, it sucked me into Xbox. Oh, okay. And I still think it's far superior, even in 2020. Their Xbox Live Online and System Link. Like, I can't tell you how many LAN parties I had with Halo and all that.
Xbox was the king of LAN parties for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And their live was just way fucking ahead of its curve.
In this house, this was previously my dad's house when he first got it. No joke. He wanted us to stay out of trouble. And, I was, my friends, I got Halo and a lot of my friends played it and were like, hey, I'm going to go get my own Xbox. I was like, awesome. We'll do like a LAN party. In this house, we did a 12-player LAN party. And
oh shit!
Every
Those
room
are fun.
We had, I think, 2 TVs in the kitchen right here, 2 and then everybody in each living. I had super long Cat5 cables because at that time I was going to college for networking, and we had all the Cat5 cable we needed. We used to make our own.
Yeah, so I would do go to Radio Shack and you actually make them.
Yeah, and then I would do. If you were just doing system to system, I would do a crossover cable, so you didn't have to go through a router.
Yeah,
and you just crossed over I think the 2 to 6 or 2 to 5 cord, whatever, and it would be link cable, because a standard Cat5 wouldn't system link. You had to go through a router. But anyways, we would do it, man, and we used to have a blast, dude. And
Oh
it was
my God.
and it was better than it is online. I'm sorry, guys. I know you guys play online a lot.
No.
out there.
No,
I'm telling you right now,
online
because you
does
could
not touch System Link at all.
no, not at all. Because
was-
LAN parties. Here's the thing about LAN parties. Because online, you could be telephone tough guy. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You can be
Oh,
a
yeah.
keyboard warrior all you want, but if you're at a LAN party, you're talking crap. Guess what? I'm going in your room right now, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. suck on this, baby.
It was the ability of having split screen, or in terms of Dreamcast and Nintendo 64, 4-player split screen, but being able to have your own fucking TV. You don't have to create no boards. Or, you stop looking at my screen.
Yep.
None of that crap. You had your own setup, your own spot, and you were just able to battle against people. And it was, I'm sorry, man, nothing will ever take away a community within a small space.
Yep.
Versus online community, man, it's the best.
We used to blast the AC before. I used to blast the AC on my house before anybody came over, because I knew the amount of heat that was going to come from the CRT TVs. Still,
Body heat excitement.
HD was still coming out. I still have my HD tube TV that I got specifically for my Xbox. And yeah, dude, but we would order pizza, and it was just a fun time, man. And we would do themes. So the thing about Halo is we would do themes. So we would have, of course, red team, blue team, whatever.
Yeah.
But we would, I remember that very, very specifically, we would huddle. And we're like, hey, what's our theme going to be? And I was like, dude, The Matrix. And I'm like, what? And I was like, all right, listen to this. Everybody, because you're able to choose the color of your.
Yep.
Yeah, you could change the armor.
Everybody be black, and everybody name their guy Mr. Smith. And they're like, what? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, we can't all have the same name because it won't let you, because you had to choose different names.
We just
I was
put a
like,
1 or 2
yeah,
or whatever.
different ways of spelling Smith. So
Yeah.
it'd be like, Smith with
With
two
a
H's,
one
with
instead
a
of an
Y.
I, and-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or
And
a
so
Y.
we're playing that team, and it worked perfectly, because we could hear the other team who was on this side of the house. They were like, wait, who the fuck is Mr. Smith? They're fucking killing. And they were like, God damn, Mr. Smith. And it was everybody was and we were just laughing our ass off. Like, this is like, oh, this is perfect, dude. It was so much fun.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Dude, Halo was so revolutionary.
Oh yeah. And then when they did 2, it just pushed the boundary
Yeah.
with that, because they really embraced the concept of
Halo
online
2.
gaming.
Online gaming. It changed it, man. It
Oh,
changed
yeah.
it forever.
Fun fact: Halo 2 was the first game I've ever pre-ordered.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. It I don't know. That's what Xbox sold me. And then the other thing that sold me with Xbox, it was because, again, I was playing when I got my PlayStation in '95. It was a year later after PlayStation came out. So my first PlayStation controller was DualShock. It wasn't the normal one. So I had the two sticks. And when I played the Xbox,
Well, was it DualShock, or was it just the dual analog? Because they came out with a dual analog before the DualShock.
Mm-hmm.
it was shit, man.
It was.
I'm pretty sure it was DualShock.
Okay, because all you got to,
'Cause I remember-
controllers were domed. It was a DualShock.
It was
But before
DualShock.
that. Okay, because before that they came out with they made it specifically for Ace Combat Electrosphere, and it was a dual analog, and the buttons were separated a little bit more than the DualShock, and they were concaved in the middle.
Oh no! Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I
mine
love
were
that
round.
controller.
So I remember because the first game I bought, because I played Resident Evil, but my cousin had played it, and it was in those old school like fucking DVD
Oh,
big old
yeah,
box
I
case.
have-
I
yeah,
have that
yeah.
box. But when I bought Resident Evil, the first one, it was the green slip. So I had the
Greatest
DualShock.
Hit?
Yeah, greatest hits green slip. So I had the DualShock, and I remember playing it, and that was my first controller. But anyways. When I got my Xbox, when my brother bought it for me for Christmas, I didn't have the Duke, so I didn't have that big ass fucking Xbox controller. I had the S, and I fell in love with the separation of the joysticks. That right there was like the revolutionary
offset,
thing to
the
me.
one
Yeah,
up-
you had
yeah, me
the-
too.
Yeah, and to this day, I can't fucking stand a PlayStation controller because the joysticks are too damn
My
close.
thumbs hit.
Yeah.
I always felt, and I think you're either, on this one, you're either, team Offset or team Sony. I don't think there's like middle ground. I don't think somebody I could do both, because I'll always hear, no, I like these better, or I only do Sony controllers. Okay, well, do you have a Microsoft system? Have you tried it?
Yeah.
No, usually.
Yeah.
But I agree, because I feel that when I use the Sony analog sticks, I don't feel like I'm moving up. with my
Exactly.
thumb. I feel like I'm going sideways.
Yeah. I definitely.
I
know what I
never
mean?
thought of explaining it that way. That's exactly it.
I always feel like I'm going, I'm not. That's not up. I want up to be up.
Like your wrist isn't up.
Yeah.
It's you're holding it in a side in the sideways fashion,
Yeah,
and that's
and I get used to it when I'm playing a game. I get used to it.
Yeah.
But I can tell you this: whenever I'm playing, and I typically don't play first person shooters on Sony systems, just honestly because of the controller.
Yeah.
But when if I do, if it's a Sony branded, I use my third party plugin that has the offset.
That's why I could never, and I know we'll dive into this in a little bit, literally in a little bit, but this is why I never could get into Killzone, because it was a first person or Resistance, because it was a first person game, strictly, and I just couldn't fucking handle the controller.
I bought the offset plugin. It was a ASCII, I think it was, or it might have been a Nyko, but offset specifically for Resistance Follow Man.
Yeah. Speaking of that, quick segue, next console war, Xbox 360, 2005, PlayStation 3, 2006, and Nintendo Wii, 2008. And at this point, the real console war is between Xbox 360 and PS3, because Nintendo at that point said, we can't really compete. We're going to do our own fucking thing. And they came out with the Wii remote. So
that thing.
I think this 360 was by far, in that console war, that trifecta. I mean, in terms of sales, probably the Wii was probably superior, but in terms of Xbox,
by far the Wii killed it.
Xbox and PlayStation, 360 fucking blew PlayStation away at that point.
Yeah, they did at the beginning too, which is crazy because of the red ring of death.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I've never had that issue. That's
I've
crazy.
had it 4 times.
Yeah, you're not.
Never once.
I used to. All right, so red ring of death. True story on this one. I would repair them on the side, and there was one day I came home. I had a shit day at work, man, and I just come home. And I open my door, and I have probably 70 Xbox 360 stacked against my wall.
What the fuck?
Wow.
Because I was repairing them kind of on the side, making a little bit of money here. Dude, it wasn't worth my time anymore. I was like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. And because it was taking all my free time, because that's how much it was happening. And I would repair them, but I would only put a 90-day personal warranty on it because I knew it was going to happen again. You can put all the solder you want on that thing. The design inside, it just could not keep the system cool enough, man.
So this generation of gaming, this is where we entered a generation. Well, I think PlayStation 2 kind of kicked it off, really. But this was the first generation where we're now consistently in a thing where we have a launch console, and then like a year or two later, we have a fucking redesign of the same console. And that 360, it's called 360 Slim, superior, because it got rid of the red thing, but it was fucking amazing at that point. Like that was
added the
best
internal memory and everything.
Yeah, it's the best console, hands down. And their online was far superior because PlayStation was still catching up, and PlayStation claimed, PS3 I should say, claimed it had all this like revolutionary games at $600 price tag, and it was shit. Like four of the quad. It had 6 quad core and like 4 of them.
Yeah, if the company knew how to program specifically for the Cell engine or whatever it was called for the PlayStation. The games came out looking incredible. Uncharted.
So first party games were amazing. On PlayStation 3.
But they weren't sharing their technology with other companies. So they're like, no, this is, Sucker Punch was doing Infamous, and they're like, yeah, this is fantastic. How did you do this? How did you do these effects? No, we're not telling you.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of hindered that system. But the original design of the original PlayStation, $600 price tag. You had all these bells and whistles that nobody really cared about and really asked for, really needed. It was kind of just like a big, like, oh yeah, we're this powerful. And I feel, and this is my personal opinion, this is when it was Sony arrogance at that time. They were just like, oh, we're bullies of the block with the PS2. Look what we did. We can't fail. And guess what? That was a freaking ego check right there.
PS3. So a lot of people ask me. A lot of people think that know me. They think I'm a hater on PlayStation.
Me too.
And it's not. It's not. I'm not a hater of PlayStation. There's 2 factors. There's the fanboys that suck on Sony's cock so bad, which PlayStation 4 is perfect example of that.
And claimed, and here's it not just suck on it, but they claim to be quote unquote gamers.
Yes.
And the root word is game. And you're not for the game, you're for the console.
You're for the console.
You don't own anything other than
that console.
Sony's
you're
console.
Not interacting with.
How are you going to talk to me about anything else?
Yeah, you can't say you're a gamer.
You already lost credibility right there.
Exactly. And on top of that, their console was just very. The company was just so they're riding the hype because PS1. Let's be real. Was fucking amazing.
It was.
And PS2 was riding that wave. Yeah. And the thing is, they were still riding that wave, but they didn't realize they fucking fucked up their footing and they crashed in that wave. And Xbox just came in and swooped it because online was the future, and they were ahead of it. This was the first time Sony went in there, and they even went in there. Eric, he said, with ego, they're like, we're going to charge free.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
free.
Good luck with that, because Xbox charges for a reason. One, contract, but two, they're getting funding for this service where
Dedicated service.
Sony was pulling from Sony Vaio, which fell under, and Bravia TVs and stuff to try and fund this online membership, and it was just horrendous. And they lied. If you guys go back, again, probably a lot of younger audience, but if you're our age, E3, they showed you videos of MotorStorm and all these other Killzone, and they looked fucking next gen. But when they actually came out, you're like, this is bullshit. This is nothing close.
I want my money back.
Classic one was when they were showing Watch Dogs, and they're like, "Oh, this is running on PS3," and I'm like,
"No way!" And it never came out for. Did it come out for PS3? It did, huh?
We're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "This is PS3 hardware," and it was real early in development.
Looked
and I'm
really
like,
good.
Wow, this looks incredible. I'm like, yeah, it's and then later on, it was run on PC with the specs of the cell engine or whatever it was called. And I was like, whatever, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a big ego check, man. Sony almost went bankrupt, and then they redesigned the PlayStation. They made the slim model. They took all backwards compatibility, which was a big factor at the time for Sony, because they literally had an emotion engine inside the PS3. So it was a PS3 and a PS2 built in one. And
that was real quick segue. That was another thing. They abandoned being able to play the old shit
completely. They had to,
and
because they had to make it cheaper.
Yeah, and that's another thing that fucked them up.
And the president of PlayStation at the time, because this is when they started using PlayStation as a brand. It was no longer Sony. It was PlayStation. And the president of the PlayStation at the time, he resigned, quote unquote, but he was going to get fired.
He was going to get fucking.
He was going to get fired.
Yeah.
So he resigned. They redesigned the PlayStation 3 and took all the backwards compatibility out of it. And going back to, I don't know. I don't want to get to the Sony fanboy stuff, but
I'm all for it, man.
Well, it's funny. I don't sound like a hater, which I am going to sound like a hater, and I don't care. But it's like it's. I hear it so much from people all the time. It's like, okay, backwards compatibility, it's not a big deal until they announce that, oh, it is going to be backwards compatible.
And then they fucking...
And they're like, oh, yeah, it's backwards compatible. Oh, now it's a big deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, right? when they're doing something, it's a big deal. When they're not doing something, it's not a big deal.
They're fucking selective with that shit.
And it's like, okay, man, yes, whatever, dude. Whatever.
No, I agree. And honestly, that and like I said, PS3 just was a shit show from a rival E3 presentation, which E3... It plays a big. There's a real importance in the next gen or the next console. Where after we talk about this, it just shows how important it is, because something critical happened in the following E3, and I think that's what fucked up the next Xbox. But 360 was just, everyone switched over. The online was the thing that was growing, and PlayStation was far behind. They were far behind. But anyways, they were fighting. They were at war. And then Nintendo was doing their own thing. They were doing this whole like family culture thing where we had the Wii Remote interactive and stuff like that. And it was pretty successful. But I mean, there's a couple games I like, but I didn't get too sucked into the Wii U or the regular Wii.
I think I use my Wii more for the download games.
The classic virtual console,
version,
backwards.
Yeah. So I did a lot of virtual consoles. So I had a memory card dedicated to like my Neo Geo, and then here's my Master System one. There's my TurboGrafx memory card, and I used it more for that. There was some really good games on the Wii, but I think they were forced to use the remote as a gimmick.
Yes.
And that killed a lot of games, because there was some good stuff, man. There was like Mad World was fantastic.
Mad World was good.
It was so good, dude.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
game.
dude. Mad World, Boy and His Blob. I mean, just stuff like that. Like, I love the
Metroid Prime 1 and 2 on GameCube, and then when they made it on the third one for Wii, I fucking hated it. Yeah. I hated it. I couldn't play with the damn Wii Remote and the nunchuck.
And they didn't give you the option just to be like, hey, can I do a classic style control on it? And that's what killed it, man. I was like, come on, dude. Like,
it was good for sports and gimmick shit, but
yeah. And
if you want to bowl all day,
yeah,
tennis and baseball, Mario Sports and shit, you know. Galaxy, I never got into Galaxy, but you know what? I bought the 3D, the recent for Nintendo Switch, the 3D collection, whatever.
3D All-Stars.
And I'm starting to play Galaxy, and I'm like, hey, this game's actually pretty good. But
I never liked Galaxy.
But I'm liking it. I'm kind of digging it right now because it's pretty much like what current Nintendo games are. They weren't back then. But I just couldn't do it with the Wii Remote.
I'm same. But going to the Mario collection, I'm glad they brought back Sunshine, because I loved Mario
Sunshine was
dude.
super underrated. I didn't get stuck. Like I said, GameCube to me, I remember just playing Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2, which I loved the first Rogue Squadron on 64. And then, fuck, man. What else did I play on game? See, that's the thing. I don't even remember what else I played on
You
game.
never played Smash?
No, I wasn't on that. Well, no, I did play Melee, but I wasn't like super fucking fanboy.
Oh my God.
I had it, but I was like,
I have a confession to make.
oh, here we go.
GameCube is my favorite Nintendo console.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you right now, like in that generation, like we were talking about earlier, it was Dreamcast, PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. GameCube and Xbox to me were neck and neck when it came to graphical power, because when I saw Luigi's Mansion, I thought that was the most beautiful fucking game I've ever seen at that time.
Did you unlock the progressive scan on that?
Yeah, I had the. You know what's funny? I had the the component red.
The
blue,
Nintendo brand.
Nintendo
You know
brand.
how much those are worth?
Yeah, I sold them for $80 when I bought. I bought it for $30 on eBay.
Dude, they're going for like $200.
Yeah, I know. I wish I didn't sell it
Are you
back then.
serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the official Nintendo.
It's literally so the way it works for GameCube, you had
Yeah.
your standard hookup, yellow, white, and red, and then they had the component,
and green.
but it literally just had red, blue, and green. You'd still have to use the other ones for audio,
Yeah.
but the Nintendo branded GameCube component cables are fucking mad money because nobody makes them, and the third party just doesn't get it just right. It has to be first party, and they're expensive, dude.
I get offers for it all the time, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, not for sale, man. Because I started looking, I was like, why is everybody asking about these? And I'm like, holy crap.
Yep.
Like, people are getting $200 for those, man. I'm like, no way.
And you know what's crazy is that made it so it basically what it took your, because the max was 480, right?
Yeah, it was
progressive.
scan,
So there was 480i, which is interlace, which basically your lines are kind of woven,
Right.
and progressive 480p, for our listeners to understand, that just made your lines not woven and made them straight. So it made your lines jagged and it made the colors just pop a little more. So
Yeah.
when you played it on, especially with GameCube games like Star Fox Adventures, the Smash Bros, Sunshine,
Mario Kart,
it fucking
Yeah,
looked beautiful.
And for the listeners out there, if you have them and you're like, oh well, it looks the same on my TV,
No.
do yourself a favor when you hit the power on and the GameCube symbol comes up, hold down the B button, just hold it down, and then when the game starts, it'll say, "Would you like to turn on progressive mode?"
Yep.
Then hit yes.
Yeah.
And you'll see a difference.
Yeah, it's significant picture quality difference.
And then I brought up Mario Kart, the best. I don't care.
I couldn't get into Double
Fight
Dash.
me, dude. Best Mario Kart ever. You know why?
No, I like
you know
Double
why?
Dash.
Because you didn't have a broadband adapter and you didn't do a LAN party with that motherfucker.
That's true.
I'm telling you, it changed everything. Because I was saying,
I played it by myself.
This is cool. No, it's Double Dash.
Well, 4 players at max, because that's what
You got to get your little pilot, and if you get in the mode, you get in the rhythm, kind of like little Hall & Oates, and you guys are like moving at the same time, and you're just like, okay, we got this, and you could tell the difference, the inertia that's going on, the physics that are in that game,
and
it's
strategy
fantastic
with it.
And then you got the broadband adapter, which is of course hard to find now, super hard to find and super expensive. But if you guys have the broadband adapter, hook it up to a router, do 4 TVs, and there's a split screen, so you have 2 people on top, 2 people on the bottom. That's 16 players at one time in one household. Order some pizza, lots of tequila. What's a drink that we had?
Terramana.
With some tahini. Boom, you're welcome,
Dude, that sounds like a fun night. We're gonna have to do it.
Man, we're going to take another field trip.
Oh yeah. So 360.05, PS306, Wii 08. After that, we went to Wii U 2012, PS4 2013, Xbox One 2013. Now, Wii U, it didn't do well. And I personally think the reason for that is because marketing was shit for Nintendo. They didn't explain it proper. People had very super misconceptions because this was the time where iPads and Samsung tablets were starting to make a thing, and the controller looked like a tablet. So that one was a wash. But PS4 and Xbox One, obviously PS4 is the superior one in this generation, hands down. I'll even admit that. But I think the reason for that is because of E3. I mentioned this earlier about E3.
Mm-hmm.
And
Huge
before these two consoles released, both consoles, because this was coming from third-party games. And now, Lou, help me here. If I'm wrong, fucking check me. But I distinctly remember, like Ubisoft, EA, all them talking about Activision, talking about that both consoles were implementing some type of DRM thing, which is basically the game you buy is strict to the console. You couldn't share it with your friends.
Yep.
You couldn't do anything. So when you bought it, it was your system. You couldn't even let people borrow it. And I've always said this. What if Xbox never went first at E3? Because Xbox went first at E3. They announced these things, and they were fucking hated for it.
Yep.
And it gave Sony a day to fucking course correct
Rethink,
this.
yeah.
And not only that, they fucking threw Xbox under the bus like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
And it was genius.
It was.
Their move was
super
genius.
smart on their part, yeah.
How do you? I want to share the game here, and they just literally here's the game.
Yeah. It was literally the reason
Yeah.
why I canceled my Xbox One pre-order and got a PlayStation 4.
And PlayStation 4 was going to do the same fucking thing
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
these third-party EA, Activision, Ubisoft, you name it, they said this is what was the direction. But because Xbox went first and they got crucified for it, and PlayStation strategically marketing, they fucking shit it all over them. This is that I feel to this day that is the reason. Outside of all these fucking fanboys, exclusives, la la la, that is the reason why Xbox fucking failed.
And to this day, there are still people that I talk to that think that's the case. Like, oh well, yeah, I can't. Once I buy a game, I can't use it on. I was like, yeah, you can. You could just give them the disc, man. Mm-hmm. Well, I download games. Well, just do game share. Oh, I can do that? Like, they're still unaware of that.
And Xbox was bigger on that
They are.
than any other fucking company with the game
especially
share.
now. And not to jump to the next generation, but I'm going to say, as much as Sony was giving Microsoft shit, who's coming out with a digital-only console?
Well, I mean, both of them now, but
Technically, both of them now.
But Sony is now doing a digital-only console.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge.
So, again, real quick, because again, at this point, Nintendo, they don't give a shit about Xbox or Sony. Let's be real here. Wii U failed because marketing, their controller had the touchscreen. They still had some good games. Unfortunately, they failed, and now we're getting the fucking ports of all the Wii U games to Nintendo.
Nintendo, and people are starting to realize how good some of these games were. And with the, I got to go back to the Wii U. I think,
Or Wii.
I thought we were going on the Wii U.
Yeah, we're Wii U.
Okay. I got to go back to talking about the Wii U. I think they were dead from the gate when they named it the Wii U.
Yes, because
Why?
it gave the conception that it's the same fucking console, but
It confused-
it was completely different. It was keeping the Wii U people entertained, but then it was giving the people that fucking hated the Wii, like myself, which again, I don't hate the Wii, but it's just, I didn't like the.
You just said
being
you hated
forced.
the Wii, bro.
I'm sorry. I don't like the controller, but they give us the option where we have a controller,
Yeah.
So
a big audience for the Wii were parents. How many parents have bought the original Wii, thinking that it only came with Wii Sports? I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
true.
Like, they're just like, it comes with this game. Like, yeah, you can put other games in there. I can. Yeah, you can even put GameCubes in there, GameCube games, and play it. What? Like, they had no idea that it was. And let's be honest, the Wii essentially is
a GameCube.
a GameCube. If you open it up, you can see things in there that actually say Dolphin on there, because the GameCube was actually codenamed Dolphin. You can actually see on the original Wii, if you open up the version 1, it'll actually say Dolphin on the chipset.
I got you even a further fun fact. The Wii Remote was originally patented as a peripheral for the GameCube, as an accessory.
There you go. It's a GameCube.
It's a GameCube.
It's a freaking GameCube.
They just rebranded it in a very
progressive scan and
strategic-
motion control.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So, so the Wii U, you just confused all those moms and pops that bought a Wii, because now they're like, well, do my Wii games work on them? Yeah, kind of. Most of them.
Yeah.
Well, do I do this? No, you need a different controller for this. And it was just so confusing. And it goes back to like the Guitar Hero shit. Like the Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero. This guitar will work for Guitar Hero 1 and 2, but it won't for 3. But it will for Kings of Rock. Like what?
It skips the.
Yeah.
Well, you need an adapter for this one. It's just like, after a while, it's like, do you just kill the genre, man? And it kind of killed the Wii U. And the Wii U had some really good games. One game that I brought up, I was doing another podcast with a friend, because we're doing like Halloween themed games.
Yeah.
And I thought was really underrated was Zombie U, because a lot of people didn't play. They didn't play the 2-player mode on that. And we're kind of going back to like LAN parties and 2-player games. Dude, Zombie U 2-player on the Wii U, if you guys haven't tried it, play it. One person's in charge of the ammo and the radar. The other person is controlling the camera, man. Give it a shot. It's a blast.
They brought that. So Zombie U, in this case just called Zombie, I think now. They brought it to 360 or Xbox One, didn't they?
They brought it to Xbox One.
Did they really?
Yeah, they ported it over. Because it's a Ubisoft. I'll find out right now for you.
It's just called Zombie.
Oh, I want the U in there. Why couldn't they call it Zombie X?
Oh my god, that would have been. Well,
They should have.
I think they ported it to everything because they also imported it.
Did they keep the 2-player mode in there?
Let me.
But see, it's different. It's got to be different though, man.
Because you had the touchpad on the other one.
Touchpad, and that's how you're like ammo. He's like, dude, I'm dying, man. I need some, health. And here you go. Here you go. It was cool. You had to work as a team.
Let's see. I'm trying to look it up. Yeah. So right here, following several leaks, Ubisoft confirmed Zombie without the U was released for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One.
When?
August. It was released August 18, 2015. The game is similar to the original with minor updates and enhancements. Second screen gameplay was moved to the main screen, only appearing when required. Let's see anything else that's important here as far as information goes. Zombie. Right here. Zombie has only solo campaign without local multiplayer or online single player features.
You know what I think about that?
DACA.
Yep. You're not getting the full game.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah.
That's why they left out the U.
That's why they left out the U.
Makes sense.
It's just Zombie Me. Zombie.
But no, I agree. I mean, there's a lot of good games on the Wii U, and they're porting them over to Switch. But so with PS4 and Xbox One, now, one thing I would admit, this is one thing that fucking pisses me off. Now, this is super unpopular opinion, especially because in this day and age of the culture, the way everything is. But everything I hear about PlayStation is always, it's got the exclusives, it's got the games. Now, personally, super unpopular personal opinion, I don't give a shit about PlayStation's exclusives. I don't give a shit about God of War. I did it already plenty of times. I don't care that it's Thor mythology now. It's a good, I will definitely give the game its credit. It's a good game, looks gorgeous, especially if you play with 60 frames, no loading. But it doesn't entice me whatsoever. Last of Us is a PS3 game. Don't fucking try to convince me otherwise. It's a PlayStation 3 game. It's not PS4. Last of Us 2, I didn't care about it. Finally, at the end of its cycle, they released Last of Us 2. Don't care about it. Horizon Zero Dawn, I'll definitely give that one its due. It's a really good game, but I feel like I've already played it before because it's a mixture of like Tomb Raider and Assassin's Creed and all these other genres I've already played.
Don't play Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo hasn't been Gran Turismo since like Gran Turismo 2 or maybe 3, A-Spec. Forza has like totally shitted all over.
They're getting their asses kicked by Turn 10, dude.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. Gran Turismo does nothing, and because Forza's already demolished that. Now, I will say this about Xbox. Unfortunately, this generation of Xbox, they have almost universally no fucking games. I'll give them that. Like Halo, they even fucked up Halo because Bungie left. Halo 4, I never really got into Halo 4, but what was the official? They've only released technically one Xbox Halo game, which is Halo 5. I actually played and beat it, but it was weird. You playing as two different. It was like Halo 2. You're playing as Master Chief, then you're playing as the other guy.
Did you play just by yourself?
I played the
zombie me or zombie you? Did you zombie?
I zombied me the campaign, and I played a little bit online, but online hasn't been the same since Halo 3.
Right. Go back. Because I did the same, and I was disappointed. Go back if you can and play the campaign with somebody.
With somebody? Okay, I'll give that a shot.
At least one other person. It's fun, dude.
So
it's not great. It's not great, but it's
enjoyable.
I'll give it. It's just for me too. It's just a story. The story's kind of gotten a little bit out of there, especially Halo 4. They kind of like almost retroed Halo 4 a little bit to progress Halo 5, and it looks like they're doing almost the same thing for the Halo Infinite.
They're giving them the Mortal Kombat treatment.
Yeah,
they start making shit.
I don't do racing games, but Forza by far is fucking amazing. And I've played Horizon, which is more of their open world. You do circuit, but at the same time you do off-roading. And then they have Forza Motorsports, which is circuit based. Those are amazing games. Like I said earlier, they shit all over Gran Turismo. And then Gears 5, I think, is technically the only official Gears. I fucking love the Gears 5, even though I had a little glitch with one of my games and I had to kind of reboot it a little bit. But Gears 5 was amazing. But then after that, it's like, and it's one of my favorite games, all-time Xbox One. If I had to just isolate Xbox One, I believe it was a launch title, and it sucks because this company that made it, they're now officially Sony company, Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
Fucking love Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah.
And then Titanfall was really good. Second one was
The
bad.
second one.
Yeah, second was good with the first one was good if you digged multiplayer, but the second one, if you want that campaign.
The first one was innovative, and I could see where they're going. Titanfall 2, I thought was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Original creators of Call of Duty.
Single player and online.
Yeah, blew it a fucking
Beautiful
way.
game. So,
Hence the name Respawn.
a lot of people were asking me, "Hey, Lou, what are you going to get? Are you going to get new Call of Duty or new Battlefield?" And I was like, "Fuck, I'm getting Titanfall, dude. Titanfall blows them both out of the water, man. That's a fantastic game. Bravo, Respawn on that one."
Yeah, if you're because let's be real, the war in terms of games was Battlefield and Call of Duty, and unfortunately Call of Duty was the big. And with Call of Duty's sidebar, Call of Duty to me is whatever the original Infinity War team made. That's what Call of Duty is to me, not everything else. Like I Black Ops was cool, but Treyarch, they were just copy and paste.
Oh yeah. After the original Black Ops, Treyarch was just
Infinity War, which made the first Call of Duty, Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's the original team. Those 4 Call of Duty games are the true Call of Duty games to me. Like everything else is kind of like, they've been all right. And then when they brought the zombies, it was just too gimmicky. Like for me, I'm not a big fan of the zombie Call of Duty. I like the way it plays.
He said zombie me, not zombie you.
I mean, Zombie Warzone we played recently was actually pretty fucking
That was
fun.
actually fun, yeah.
But again, that's
Zombie Yudes.
Zombie youth.
Send the zombie nudes.
Zombie nudes.
But again, I to me, when people try to sell me on PlayStation, I have a PlayStation. I have the Pro of the Spider-Man one. I literally only own 2 games, and I only have 2 games installed. That's Spider-Man and the Final Fantasy VII Remake. That's it. Everything else, third party, if it's multi-platform, I got to do it on Xbox. Controller and online is far superior.
And if you got UHD 4K,
yes,
the Xbox
true
X
4K.
It's a perfect example. I was playing because I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey on my Xbox X.
I fucking love that game. I'm 2 years too late.
I told you, man. Remember I told you? You were like,
told me day one.
I don't know. And I was like, dude, you got to play this game, man. I was like, I know you're probably tired of it like I am with all the other ones. I said, dude, this is up there with number 2 for me.
Real quick, hold your thought. Sidebar, I wasn't tired with it. It's just they fucking got rid of my Desmond character. And then after that Desmond was gone, it just got stupid. It was just like, where timeline can we go to? But I didn't give Origins the second day, the thought of time. But when I did Odyssey...
Dude, Odyssey
fucking blew me away. This guy knows. I got him sucked in. I bought the Ultimate Edition like a year later for like $20.
Yeah, $30.
I did when they had it. It was brand new, and nobody was buying it. And they had the Black Friday sale, and it was like $19.99. I was like, I can't say no to that. I mean, it's a $60 game. It's Assassin's Creed. It's worth at least $20
for sure.
And it sat there, and I started. You talked about God of War. I was playing God of War and Spider-Man, and then I made the mistake of installing while I was playing that. Odyssey. I was installing Odyssey on the Xbox, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see what this is kind of about, because it was in everybody's like top 5 review.
Everyone's giving it praise.
Like, it can't be that good,
especially after playing fucking Syndicate and all this other bullshit.
I was disappointed in Origins, because I'm a big fan of like Egyptology, and they just used the pyramids and all of like Egypt as a backdrop for that game. For Origins, and I was like, they could have did so much more with the characters, the lore, the history, everything, and they didn't. They just like, oh yeah, check out these pyramids. You can go in.
It became a timepiece. Like, what time can we go to and make a game out of it?
And I was so disappointed. So when I played Origins, I was like, dude, this is the movie
Odyssey.
Odyssey. This is the movie 300, like at its core.
Yeah.
This is like badass, dude. So, anyways, I made the mistake of booting it up. And to this day,
this was the best mistake.
I still have not finished God of War. I still not have finished Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man, I fucking beat that game like 7 times.
I'm sure you have.
I'm addicted to the Spider-Man game. I think as a Spider-Man fan, Nate knows I'm a big Spider-Man fan.
Well, you're wearing the shirt.
It's Miles Morales. It's the story. I've read so many different types of origins of Spider-Man, from obviously the original to Ultimate and all kinds of origins. This one, the video game verse, is a really good one. Full disclosure, I don't care if it's petty. I'm super butthurt that they changed the way my man Peter Parker looks in the fucking PS5 edition. It hurts me to the core. But I love the design, the voice, everything about Spider-Man and the Spider-Man game. It was just so fucking well done. I beat it like 7 times. I'm super excited for Miles Morales. I'm a little sad that they changed Peter because I want to get the PS5, in which we're going to segue in a little while here, and get to replay it in the PS5 edition. But
You sound like Petty Parker.
Petty Parker, bro. Seriously. But God of War, I couldn't. I played it. I got like halfway through, and or not even halfway through. I got probably like maybe 25%, a quarter way through.
I got halfway through, and
I lost interest. It's the same shit. Oh, I feel like I've already played so many games. I feel like it was too late, too dumb, too late.
Yeah, and I watch what I say because I know there's a lot of fans of that stuff. But then when I start talking to them, I realize they haven't been playing games that long.
They haven't.
And I'm like, okay, so that might be it. This is your first experience on a game like this? This is not anything new.
Listen, God of War 1, God of War 2, PS2, Chains of Olympus, Ghost of Sparta, PSP, and then God of War 3 on PS3. That's 5 fucking God of Wars, and I've played them all, and I beat them all. All you did for me is give me Thor's fucking Stormbreaker hammer and
slowed it down,
and slowed it down, and then gave him a son, which whatever the fuck. What's your Nate? Did you play God of War?
I played 1 and 2.
Okay,
and then I had my fill after that.
That was good, right?
Yeah,
like you had no sense of urgency to play PS4.
There was absolutely no reason for me to continue on because it was still the same game, just a different backdrop.
Yeah, and that's the issue. It's they didn't change anything. I mean, innovatively, yeah. I mean, there was like universally no load time. It was creative how they did it. You know, you're walking along a long corridor while you're walking, the game is loading. So yeah, it's creative, but it just didn't do anything for me. So everyone talks about PlayStation 4 has got all these fucking exclusives. And I'm sitting there going like,
yeah, but
I don't give a shit about any of them.
You played, right?
Spider-Man and Final Fantasy Remake, and that's Spider-Man is because that's a legit exclusive. And Final Fantasy, it's fucking Square Enix. They're just assholes, want to keep it on there because of whatever reason. That's it. That's the only 2 exclusives I care. And they talk about millions of exclusives. There's nothing else. I find more thrill out of my Xbox One in terms of...
Well, overall, I just get more use out of my Xbox One in general. I use it as my main streaming service. I use it as my main 4K. Blu-rays.
But again, that's just my personal opinion.
No, I'm saying, and you were talking about the failure of the Xbox One,
going first at E3.
E3, but I think they lost a lot of their determination, like they did with the Xbox 360. They wanted to go out and get those, European and Japanese developers to bring over. And it's like with the Xbox One, that was kind of like lost.
You know what I think they did?
They didn't like go out and like, hey, we need you to develop this exclusive.
Not like they are now.
Yeah. To come and we want you to make this game on our system. What can we do to do it? Because they really did that with a 360. Yeah. They got a lot of Japanese developers making. They went, you know what I mean? Like was it the Sonata? What was that called? The game called?
Eternal Sonata, Infinite Discovery.
Yeah, they went out of their way to sign. I mean, it might not have been the biggest game, but the fact that they got these world-renowned Japanese developers to make a game on the Xbox,
Blue Dragon,
Blue Dragon, which was failing horribly in Japan, because it's an Xbox, which means X means no. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, which by the way brings me to the segue of the control scheme on the PlayStation. You hear about that?
Mm-hmm. What's that?
Yeah, I did.
What did you hear?
The X, it's more like Japan, where it's more like America.
Yeah, they switched the X to the O, where O was confirmed and X was denied, and in America,
Japanese are like, no. Yeah. It's like, it's all fucked up now, man.
Do you think the Xbox One is an example of Sony's PS3 arrogance and Sega's
absolutely
not taking advantage of the proper is a combination of two?
Yeah. How do you not
have a Fable game, for example, on Xbox One?
How do you not go back to Bungie and say, what can we do to bring a true Halo back? Yeah, 343, great. We can make another ODST.
They can Treyarch and copy and paste all they fucking want.
Do an ODST somewhere else.
go sit in the corner.
Too. Go make zombie Z. Who cares?
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
But hey, Bungie, what can we do? No Destiny, no. We want Halo. We want Master Chief. What can we do?
Yeah,
to bring this. It's stuff like that they could have done. It's Microsoft. They got the money for it, man. because the whole Xbox One X was just a big fu to Sony saying, "Oh, you think you have the most powerful console? No, we do." Because
and they did have a power. Their console is technical base. It's far superior, especially the X compared to the Pro. It's far superior. From
far
PS4,
superior.
But you ain't got shit on there right
you
now.
got nothing on there. But when you play games, like we're talking about Odyssey, I played Odyssey on the PS4 Pro at a buddy's house, and I didn't realize how much loading is on that.
Yeah. There's
And
on
there's
the X,
none
it's
on the
fucking
X.
minimal.
So
Yeah.
people are out there listening. If you're playing Odyssey on the Pro and you switch to the Eagle Vision, it loads.
That's the ability where you're your character, and then you can actually take overcome first person view of the eagle, your companion, and you can see stuff.
correct. It loads
Wait, what?
On the
PS4
PlayStation?
on the PS4 Pro. It loads.
I had no idea it
loads?
loaded.
It stops.
It's fucking seamless
It goes
on
black,
Xbox.
and then you see.
No shit.
Whereas Xbox One is a
You press and you're there. I mean, I'll go back
and you
and
zoom
forth.
out and you're back, and you zoom out. Yeah, there's loading on the Pro.
Holy shit.
And that was
Icaros.
the biggest. That was
Icaros
the
was the
biggest thing, dude. I was like, "What?" And then when you come out of a cave on Xbox, you're just boom. You're walking. You're running.
You just walk right out.
PlayStation?
It
Yeah.
just transitions.
Loading
It gives you like a transition screen.
on not all, but some. Yeah. And when you get in the ship, yeah, all that stuff, man.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's in terms of specs, the X is far superior. I mean, the fucking PS4 Pro doesn't even do native 4K. It does
Right.
semi upscale, and
It's
that's for
upscale.
select things. And where Xbox is true 4K. Let me ask you this. Let me get you a deep question, because this is something that I'm kind of experiencing me personally.
Deeper than that.
I don't know how you feel. I don't know how you feel, Nate or Lou, but are you, and keeping in time, we haven't transitioned to the next gen. So keeping with these consoles, because this is where I'm really feeling it. Are you guys still excited about games, or are you guys starting to lose it? So example, I'm starting to lose my enthusiasm for gaming. And part of it, I'll give you some reasons why. Fanboys is like at full force. Social media is at full force. So you have
Yes.
the Sony
I agree.
and Xbox. It's fucking insane. I'm a gamer. That means I'll play fucking anything. I don't care if it's Leapfrog, my phone, whatever. I'll play
He
it.
said leapfrog.
I don't care. I'll
The
play it.
Sega Pico.
But the other thing is, this is the critical thing, and this is the biggest thing that these new consoles will transition pretty soon here, that they keep talking about all these other fancy shit that the new Xbox and new PlayStation does, but this is all I give a shit about is when I put a game in, I want it to play right then and there. I can't stand that I have to install and wait minutes, hours, whatever. And then on top of that, with the install, you have to have internet
Updates.
and have to update this shit. Like how do you guys feel about? Because I'm honestly, truthfully, I'm starting to lose my interest in gaming. I'm not.
No, yeah.
I'll play it, but there's some game. They're overall, like when my 64 and then Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, original Xbox 360 for that matter. Those days for me are like kind of
No,
gone.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. That this is a nostalgic factor, right? To putting in a game and playing it instantly. Where now we're like, if you even build up the excitement for any game, it doesn't matter what system it's on, you're excited to play it, right? And you got to wait for it to install and then wait for it to update. Why?
Yeah.
It blue balls you.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
I'm with Nate on that one. I've lost a lot of interest because of that. You're excited and you're like, oh, and then update. And not only that, you can play the game and you're starting to get into it and you're starting to have fun with it. You're like, okay, and you don't play for a day or two and you come back and you try to start it. And if you don't have the automatic updates installed, it's like, wait, an update is available. You must update this game to play. You're like, God damn it. Right. And then sometimes some of those features are gone because people were taking advantage of them or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, because they're able to actively patch their games.
Yeah,
where back then, once you got
plays,
that's
it might
the product.
play a little different. But yeah, dude, I miss the days of literally just, hey, I got my new Super Nintendo game, Super Metroid, take off the shrink wrap, read the instruction booklet. I miss instruction
Dude,
booklet.
and they were,
Crazy,
not only
by the
did
way.
they give you how to play the game, but they gave you lore of the game. I fucking love that.
Yeah, especially the working designs. Anybody who's out there who worked for working designs, props. You guys had by far the best cover art, the best freaking inserts, and I love the little cutout, little coupon things for you guys' surveys and stuff. Fantastic, man. Props to you guys. Sorry you guys are no longer there, but you will live forever.
Absolutely.
In my mind. But yeah, man, and just popping that game in
movies.
and just boom, turn it on and you're playing.
And
you're playing.
And what's
dude.
what's funny is 360 had that, and PS3 was starting to do that, where some of the portion of the game had to be installed. And Xbox was like, 360 was like, it's an option if you want it to load a little bit faster. But it wasn't until Xbox One and PS4.
Right.
And what happened? Because there were still CDs, and you were able to play them, and it had less RAM, but you were still able to play them out of the box. Like, boom, okay, I'm playing Left 4 Dead. It's playing. No install, no nothing.
Yeah.
Right. And it kind of poses a question too, right? As a collector, if you collect physical media when it comes to games, like how does that affect you overall? Like, are you still going to want to collect those items, even though you're going to have to sit there and wait for it to install? Or are you going to take the leap and go digital?
It almost made it to a point where, like, honestly, where I'm at right now, it's like, honestly, I'm a physical guy, and I know you're a physical guy for sure. I would love to go physical, but honestly, it's like at this point, it's like, might as well just buy it fucking digital.
Easier to go
it's
digital.
The same shit.
It's more convenient to go digital, but I've learned my lesson with digital with the Wii. You do not own it.
Oh yeah,
you can purchase it, but it's a user agreement. You don't own it. So if they decide,
and that's what I tell a lot of people about digital.
Yeah, like Nintendo, they decided to cut off the Wii
online support, eShop, Virtual Console. Yeah.
So probably 60% of the games that I downloaded no longer work on my Wii, because it later on in the Wii's life cycle, they had a thing where they would have to verify that your download was legit because there was a lot of piracy going on.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And so since that happened, if you have any of those games downloaded, you can no longer play them, man. They're not available.
Because the server's gone, so when it tries to connect to validate that you own it, it can't.
It cannot verify it. Yeah. They'll start up, and they'll look like they're going to play, and then they'll say error, and you're stuck. Mm-hmm. So there's a ton of games that I downloaded.
And so that's a critical thing for me right now. It's installing the game takes fucking forever, especially on PlayStation. I don't know what it is, but PlayStation takes fucking forever. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but that's what I've experienced.
I call it the delay station.
Delay station. and then the fact that you need updates, and in some games you need to be connected online at all times just to play it. Like there was like racing games, like fucking Need for Speed. Like it's a racing game. Why do I need to be online?
It's EA, dude, and their servers, man. They're getting super stingy with that stuff, man. They're trying to control everything.
And the other big thing is, like, listen, I'm sure you guys probably have a different opinion. I don't give a shit about microtransactions. That's like, I don't care about it. I really don't. I mean, everyone complains about it, whatever. I don't care. If I want to get it, I'll pay for it. If not, whatever. It's not a big deal to me whatsoever. But more and more games are starting to implement that. And again, it's fine, but it gets to a point where it's just like, man,
what am I actually paying for?
Exactly.
It's getting annoying.
Why am I paying $60?
Yeah.
If you're going to give me another $40 of content that I kind of have to buy.
Yeah. Right. I mean, again, kind of. It's like I don't need it, but it's like I want it,
because you want the complete experience.
Yeah, you want everything. I mean, you pre-order a game and you get a bonus mission. You fucking want that bonus mission. You know what I mean? So you'll pre-order it, but
it's another way to nickel and dime you to death.
So that kind of segues to our next current console war. So in 2017, Nintendo Switch came out. Now, as of right now, I play home console connected to the TV. Xbox is my go-to console. It is. Spider-Man and Final Fantasy is all I do on PlayStation. Switch, I love this console so much. Yeah, it doesn't have like the super mature games. Yeah, it's not super powerful like an X or a PS4 Pro. But you know what's awesome about a Switch? I put the cartridge in. I get to play the game right away.
Yeah.
I don't need fucking a million updates. I mean, they have updates, so they're accommodating that. But I can play my game right away, and it's just more fun games. It's on the go. I can turn it on, play it. Oh, you know what? I got to do something. I got to tend to my children. I got to go to work. I got to do something. Put in sleep mode. Boom, go do my thing. Come back, click it. Boom, I'm right where I left off.
Yep.
Don't miss a beat. I love it. I love my Switch. To me, it's one of the best consoles right now available. Next week, 2020, literally almost 7 days from now, November 10th, Xbox Series X comes out with the digital Series S. 2 days after that, PlayStation 5 physical with the disc and then one digital. I am legitimately, like, I can straight up, I'm not excited whatsoever for these consoles.
Samesies. I'm not. And there's a lot of hype from people that I know, and they're hitting me up about, which one are you going to get? And I'm like, I don't know if it's I'm getting old. I don't know if it's just been around it for so long. It's not a big deal.
I got two reasonings. Well, three. First off, I'm not hyped up because I'm I'm just kind of irritated. I've said this numerous times. The fucking fanboys just irritate the shit out of me right now, and I'm just like kind of spiteful right now.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
The second thing, or maybe 4, but the second thing is
there's no games.
There's no games coming out.
Yeah,
there's no games. Miles Morales for PlayStation, at least. Miles Morales was the game I got to get, but it's coming for PS4
as well.
So it's like you save money,
and it's really just let's be fucking real. It's an expansion to the first game.
It's
not a true PS5.
They they pretty much admitted that.
Yeah. Halo was supposed to launch with Xbox.
Biggest mistake. The biggest mistake Microsoft could have done, dude.
Yeah, and it's so
make it happen. Like if it's not ready, make it ready.
Yeah, you got to do something. You got to fucking launch it. Now, granted, Microsoft bought Bethesda and all this crazy shit. They're getting companies, but that's cool and all. But we're talking like 3, 4, 5 years before you actually release some pretty fucking good games. Yeah. So it's not going to matter anything. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought here. So I talked about fanboys. I talked about the games. And then there's no games. Fuck, man, I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, guys.
You said 4 points of, technically 4 reasons why you don't.
I'm trying to think of my other 2 right now. I lost my train of thought.
Price point?
No, the price point is fair.
Teraflops?
$400, $499. Oh, they haven't addressed the whole install thing. Like how fast installs. They're adding all these new features. Like Xbox has like, oh, you can jump from one game to dude. I play one game at a time.
The seamless transitions.
I don't play.
I don't have 7 games opened up at one time trying to jump from Call of Duty to FIFA.
Oh, I remember. I remember.
Just like, I want to play that. I want to play this.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I remember my point. So I said it earlier. Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. The next thing that came out was Nintendo 64, PlayStation.
Don't forget the TurboGrafx.
And TurboGrafx. Those were revolutionary jumps. You went from 16-bit games to 3D. Is there really a fucking transition between an Xbox One, PS4 to a PS5 graphically? There isn't much.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, the only game I think that I was like, okay, that's probably next gen. Was Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, okay.
Because of the way you can zoom into the different world, and it was like a little pipe warp, and you go, and then it's all of a sudden everything just changes, and you're like, and you do it again. You know, was it like crack through time kind of thing, where you would shoot another beam, and then it would open up to another world, and you can kind of see that world within the screen, and then jump into it. I thought that was like, okay, that probably cannot be done on the X or the PS4 right now because of the loading, because of the install and all that stuff. That is probably next gen. Probably, I said.
But see,
everything else, I don't see the Xbox One X not being able to do anything visually.
Okay, and that's the thing. So PlayStation, okay. PS5, they're coming out. We're fucking next gen. We're amazing. Our fucking system looks like a Dubai tower. It's insane. You know, solid state drives are a big thing. That's like probably the most like biggest thing that these two consoles have, because let's be real, they should have that.
And you notice they're keeping quiet on the price on that
of the solid state.
That's going to slap people in the face when they're like, "Oh, I need to expand because I got 2 games and my hard drive's full already."
Yeah.
Guess what? $220.
PS5 is semi backwards compatible with PS4.
Mm.
But here's the thing. So you said earlier about Xbox X. Microsoft is going in a direction where they're just like, look, at this point, we don't give a shit what you play on. We just want you to have our ultimate pass, and we promise you'll be able to play any game on any of these devices. They're literally opening up to say, they're almost like Nintendo right now in a sense. They're like, let's be friends. Let's just do everything. Where Sony's still like, it kind of seems to me, I could be wrong, they're kind of entering that PS3 realm where they're a little bit fucking arrogant. They're finally on top, but they're kind of being a little bit on, you know, we're top shit. No matter what, people are going to get our shit. And we're kind of brass tacks, because everyone right now is hyped on PS5, and I don't understand really why. There's nothing coming out for it.
A majority of the people that I talk to that are super hyped on PS5 they're Sony fanboys.
Yeah, they're just fanboys. And honestly, it's to me, it's like, oh, the PS5 is finally doing what the Xbox One X has been doing. Okay, that's cool.
And now a digital-only console's not a big deal.
Yeah,
it was last year.
Yeah, they made a big fucking stink when Xbox made their all-digital console, and now it's like...
It's the future.
Oh, no, it's a standard.
But I think you're right with the Game Pass, because that's guaranteed money. That's a monthly fee, guaranteed. And where right now... Microsoft's not. They don't. You're talking about exclusives. They don't have a lot of exclusives. They're definitely behind the 8 ball when it comes to sales and their war, if you will, with Sony and Nintendo.
Yeah.
So how many people do you know are going to spend? What is it? 30? How much?
It's 15. It's 15 a month.
15 a month.
Yeah, a full year technically is $180.
Okay,
but it's 15. But here's the thing: 15 a month. What that gets you is Xbox Live to play online with other people. It's the ultimate, so you can get the Game Pass. The Game Pass not only allows you to be able to access it via your Xbox, but your PC. But I think it's going to be moving because right now
phones.
Android, yes.
And Game Pass, for those that don't know, Xbox Game Pass allows you to play over 100 games from the first Xbox, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and now Xbox Series X. And not only that, it gives you access to pretty much all first-party games. So if you're a fan of Halo and Gears of War, instead of spending $60
when it comes out brand new, you got it.
Get that game
crazy,
right
man.
then and there.
That blew me away because when I heard that, oh yeah, you're getting Crackdown 3 or you're getting Gears day one,
Gears 5,
Forza day
Forza.
one. I was like, what? I just spent 60, 70. Well, I got Forza. I got the $80 one. And these people are getting it for free?
For free.
I mean, not technically for free, but 15.
The day of the release.
But going back, that's guaranteed. Like I was talking about, that's guaranteed money. Yeah, it's only $15, but for a year, you said it was what? How much?
$180.
$180.
How many Xbox owners do you know are spending $180 a year on games? Not many.
Not many. But here's the thing, too.
And it's reoccurring.
Just Xbox Live alone, just that gives you the ability to play online and get free games. It's $60.
Yeah.
So you're spending another 60 plus another 20, 40, and you're getting 100. Like if you buy a Series X and then you buy the Ultimate Pass, day one you have access to over 100 fucking games instantly.
And they're not raising the price of,
and they're adding EA.
They're not raising the price of the monthly subscription or yearly subscription, but games are being raised in prices to $70.
Games are becoming $69.99 now.
That's. I mean, if you think about it, right now it doesn't sound like that big a deal, but probably a year from now you'll be like, man, they're ahead of the game on this one.
And and like I said earlier, that's Xbox One, Xbox Series X, if Android devices, PC, all these devices, and they're going to bring more. You're able to use these games on this. You're streaming.
Yeah, you can literally take your games on the go.
That's like me being like, oh, cool. How awesome would it be to play my Miles Morales PS5 Spider-Man on another platform? You can't. Not even if you can't even go back and play the PS4 edition. You got to buy the PS4 edition and you get a free upgrade to the PS5 edition. That's the only way to get it. It's insane.
Yeah.
So with those consoles coming out next year, we said we're not really excited. I mean, are you getting, because I know you're gaming, you got to have it. It's kind of like a flex right now.
I'm eventually going to get it. I had my heart set on the Xbox, but once they delayed Halo, there was really no reason for me to get it because they're all going to be available on Xbox X. It's just a slight upgrade on the series. So I'm going to hold off on my on my Series X right now. I am going to get the PS5 day one, but
why? If I may ask.
Because I already paid for it in full.
Fair enough.
Because I had my Xbox paid off, and then when they canceled it, I literally moved the money over to the PS4.
Really?
Yeah, I did. So, and the reason being, because it's money's there, and there's if I wanted to play the exclusives on the PS5, I can, but I'll be honest with you, it's probably just going to sit there. And I know the listeners out there are like, oh, bullshit. No, really. It's probably going to sit there. I'll show you guys. I still got my Spider-Man PS4 Pro in the box. Never opened.
So, I mean, I use mine. I definitely, like I said, I play Spider-Man. That's about it. But, I mean, I have both pre-ordered right now. I'm for sure going to buy the Xbox, but I'm teetering if I want the PS5 because I don't like the design. I know they're going to fucking change it.
They're going to change it.
The design is
probably about 2 years.
Yeah.
Probably about 2 years.
And again, I don't give a shit about their exclusives. And then at the same time, what exclusives are there?
Yeah.
Miles Morales is on PS4.
I think I told you this online, but I'm kind of interested in that cat game. I'm going to be completely honest.
Fucking cat
I am, dude. What was it called?
Let me find out.
It's called like...
I'll find it right now. Nate.
Zombie C.
Zombie C. Oh, the cat.
It's
game?
called Stray.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested in Stray, man.
Fucking cat people,
It's
man.
like Untitled
I'm not.
Goose
I'm
Game.
not
You have
happy with
dogs.
cats. I'm allergic to cats. This is the closest I
so
can
this
get
is the
to a
closest you
cat.
get to a cat.
That makes sense.
Are you getting an X or a PS5?
Yeah, so I had originally, planned on getting a 5, not for me, but for my wife, and kind of decided, was thinking, and I was like, nah, I'll just wait, like I don't really need it. And then for whatever reason, I just got a hair up my ass, and I was like, no, I need the Series X day one. I need it day one.
No, for the record, I do still have my Series X pre-order, but just the minimum amount of money.
And for the record, the game Stray with the Cat is coming out for PS4 and eventually PC.
I am now going to switch my money back from the PS5.
I just
But I told you I like weird games like that because it reminds me of a dog's life, but it's like a cat's life.
I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that trailer, when I saw that presentation PlayStation, like most of the games, I was like, well, but that one for whatever reason, it did interest me.
Right? Because it's like, okay,
He's like a carrier. He's a courier, but it's a fucking cat.
Yeah.
yeah, man. It's
Exactly.
like
Meow.
But again, it's coming out for PS4. So I mean, the
I might
only
get it on PS4.
the only exclusive game that I know of now that they've
and
definitively
Clank.
that they definitively say is for PS5 is Ratchet and Clank.
Yep. And I'm not a big Ratchet and
I'm
Clank
not
fan.
either. I saw
Never
the
have
movie.
been.
It was kind of cool.
Never have been. But you said he was a courier, so is it like Mirror's Edge cat?
Kind of. I mean, if you watch the trailer, I mean, it's going through, climbing and running.
I
through
did see the
lanes.
trailer. I watched it several times, and I'm like, you know what? This kind of intrigues me.
You just get more and more excited
It's
each time
weird
you watch it.
because again, it goes back to my love of originality. Something
And
original.
you got to
man.
support that, man. I mean,
have
this is what.
Because if not, everything's going to be cookie cutter, man. Everything's going to be freaking Chipotle and In-N-Out. Like
Call
all
of
over.
Duty number
Baja
30.
Fresh.
Baja Fresh.
Who is? Let me see. Who's making Stray?
The Cool Kids Club.
Well, we know it's exclusive, so it's published by Sony at the very least. But who's the developer? Let's see.
Is it the Stray Cats?
Josie and the
Oh,
Pussycats.
actually, it's not even published by Sony. It's developed by Blue 12 Studio, and it's published by Annapurna Interactive. And yeah, right here, PS5, PS4, and Microsoft Windows, so PC.
Hey, they bring Windows and not the Xbox.
Right? I'm sure. You know what? Give it a year, it'll be on there. It's probably contractually.
Yeah, they'll put it
you
on
know.
Game Pass.
Yeah. So there you go.
Mm.
So next week we have new consoles, and honestly, I mean, Lou, you've experienced them more than we have, but I can say, maybe this is a valid statement, between Series X and PS5, this is the most, like, for me personally,
Unenthusiastic
shittiest
launch.
unenthusiastic video game launch
Yeah.
in the history of video games.
Yeah, because I mean, just the quantities. It's
hands down.
You know, if we had more, you know, if there was going to be more available, then okay, all right, cool. You know, there's going to be more people getting them. Now it sounds like it's just going to be an Easter egg hunt for people that say, "Yay, I got one." It's like, dude, you're not even a gamer, bro.
It's going to be, and that's what I was telling Nate the other week. It's a flex move to buy them right now because there's really, let's be real, there's no reason to buy the new console, but it's a flex move. There's the flexers, that's what I call it, and then there's scalpers.
Yeah,
That's the two.
Tons.
That's
the
it.
majority of the people that I know are they're going to flip it.
Yeah, that's all they're doing it right now. It's not to. I mean, come on, let's be real. Next year we're gonna have plenty of PlayStations and plenty of Xboxes, but there's no reason to buy it right now. There's no incentive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't see it.
Yeah, if they're again going back to Halo, if they had that Halo going, hell yeah. With Sony, if they were to, like, if
But what title can they release with Sony where it'd be like, holy shit? I mean, Miles Morales is a good one, but let's be real, it's not really a new innovative title.
no, it's for me. If it was Sony, like, if they were to all of a sudden say, yeah, a full version of PT is going to be on the PS5.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or New Silent Hill for that matter.
even new Silent Hill. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down.
Or what about this? A new Metal Gear.
Maybe I'm not the biggest.
I'm not
Metal
the
Gear
biggest fan. I'm like I said, for
Yeah.
me the best one was Twin Snakes, which is a remake of the Metal Gear
maybe,
Solid.
but I know that would be you know,
That's
cream
a
of the crop
select
for a lot of people.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely, like a Silent Hill. But yeah, PT would be awesome. Or
What's your take on? I know you were a fan of this game when it first came out, but the fact that it's not technically the original game. What's your take on Sackboy? Do you feel like if it was Little Big Planet 4 or just Little Big Planet something new, it would be better, or is Sackboy enough.
If it was made by Media Molecule, I would give it a chance.
It's not made by Media Molecule?
It's not. It's made by the people who did number 3. Number 3 wasn't made by Media
Oh
Molecule.
fuck!
neither.
Never mind. Throw in the cards,
Yeah,
dude.
so,
I didn't even realize that.
He
Media.
said I fold.
Yeah. This sack has been tied up. But no,
Vasectomy.
Vasectomy. Nice. No, I'll see. I'll give it a chance, because you never know. They might pull through. But I was so disappointed with Little Big Planet 3 because, and I usually research my games, and when I got that one, I was like, God, like what
I didn't even
happened?
realize Media Molecule didn't make that one.
Like, what the fuck happened? And I started looking at it. Like, wait a minute, the Media Molecule doesn't even do this game.
Yeah.
It's the classic, let me sell off the franchise, but keep it under the Sony label, a la, Twisted Metal. When they did Twisted Metal 3 and 4, it wasn't made by...
Dude, what if they made a PS5 Twisted Metal with Jaffe actually having to do with it?
Never happened, because as you and me both know, we both spoke to Jaffe, and he said, screw Sony.
That's true.
What they did with his love of his life, Twisted Metal series.
So quick story recap. Nate, do you know this thing?
Mm-mm.
Lou, do you know it better? You probably know it better than me. Jaffe, he was the creative director of Twisted Metal, and he had his hand in one.
And God of War.
And he had his hand in one.
And Warhawk.
Oh, shit, he did make Warhawk. Yeah. Was it the remake or the original?
The original.
Oh, fuck, he made the original?
Yeah. Yeah, he's part of that, too.
Oh, wow.
Dude, he basically made Sony on the PS1.
In the mature scape, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
He yeah. So let me bring it up here.
So what happened? Sony just screwed him over or what?
Yeah, David Jaffe. Is it David Jaffe? Dave Jaffe. He was a designer, and he was in part with Twisted Metal 1 and 2. And in the third one, that's when it went to 938 Studios.
And he went on to go to Interplay, and they made a game called Rogue Trip, which was the real Twisted Metal 3. It was a fantastic game. And you could system link it too. But yeah, he I think he wasn't he part of Twisted Metal Mini too? The mini one?
For
PlayStation 1. They made the little mini car version.
So he had his take. It shows that he worked on Twisted Metal 2. He came back for Twisted Metal Black.
Right.
And then he did God of War. And then he did Twisted Metal Head On. He was the game director for PSP. That one, you know what? That's funny because I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And then he did God of War 2. And then he did 2 other games. But he did have a hand in he was the game director of Twisted Metal for PS3 2012, which was super fucking dark, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Mature. Well, Sony had a problem with it being a maturity game. And all that, and I was talking to him, interview, and I was like, so, what was going on with that? And he's like, they had all these big plans for my game, and they basically did not promote it whatsoever. And he came out of pocket a lot to promote his own game, because they were so against it being a mature rated game and being as dark as it was, but he refused to make it like a teen rated. Kept it dark, fantastic game, but they would not give him any kind of support with the online playability, updates, anything like that. And he basically just said, screw you guys. Done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we met Jaffe at a conference, and
super cool guy.
Yeah, super cool. We actually they had a Sweet Tooth, which one of the characters in Twisted Metal. They had masks, and we actually got autographed.
Yep.
Right on
the Twisted Metal. I actually still have mine, but yeah, no, because he went off and made Eat, Sleep, Play, and then that just kind of fell apart. It became absorbed into Avalanche gaming software. But
so I got a story about him, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this. But Jaffe, if you're listening, thank you. So he well, no, I shouldn't say thank you. I should screw you, man. So we're doing an interview, anyways, and there's a line behind me, and security's like, Mr. Jaffe, you got to shut it down. We're closing up. And he's like, hey, I'm talking to these guys. These people, sell my game. They're the reason why I have what I have.
Absolutely.
He was super down to earth, man. So he goes, hey, Lou, you seem like a man's man. I was like, yeah, I hope so. He goes, I got to ask you a question. Don't feel offended. He goes, you got any pot? And I go, I go, no, I don't. He goes, damn. You know where I could score any? And it just sounded like a dad, like a hippie kind of, And I'm like, yeah, I actually think I do know somebody. And I did.
I remember.
And we were in Vegas. And it was an acquaintance. I won't say his name.
Yeah, for sure.
So I called him. I was like, hey man, you got any weed? He's like, no, I think I smoked it all. He goes, I don't know, I might have a little bit. I go, why? And I go, dude, Dave Jaffe wants some. He goes, Dave Jaffe, why does that sound familiar? I was like, dude, Twisted Metal, bro. And he's like, oh, he's the creator. I was like, he goes, what? He wants to smoke? And I was like, yeah, dude. I was like, so come up. So anyways, he comes up and does an interview as well. I leave at this time because I'm like, okay, there's more people in line. And he's kind of fighting with the security. And he tells the security straight up, he goes, look, these people sell my game. I'm nothing without them. They deserve my time, and I'm going to give it to them. So you can go do whatever the hell you want, but I'm going to spend my time with these. And he was taking all of us and sitting down one-on-one and doing an interview. It was awesome.
Damn.
So it got to a point where, apparently, this is what I was told, it got to a point where they're literally taking down these beams and stuff in this auditorium that we're in, or warehouse, and it's getting unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a line. Mind you, I just leave. Well, he goes, hey guys, I'd like to hang out and talk to all of you. How about you all come to my place? So he invites everybody to his room in Vegas, and it's drinks, it's smoke, it's party time.
Damn.
And everybody's like, dude, he was the coolest dude. I mean, nobody got out of hand.
Right.
Yeah.
But he was like, dude, he was so accommodating, room service. Yeah, have some drinks. Oh, tell me about yourself. I missed it all. I missed it all by like 30 seconds. And I'm like, God damn it. And that's one of the biggest regrets because I could have stayed, but I was like, no, I forgot what I was doing. I went to go get like I don't know what it was, maybe like a Yakuza sign or something like that. I had to have. And yeah, man. And I don't even know where it's at to this day, but yeah, but I did get, of course, the face mask or
Sweet Tooth
the
autograph.
Sweet Tooth. I got that autographed. I got my Twisted Metal autographed original box, and then he was impressed that I brought Rogue Trip because he was like, "How you know about this one?" And I was like, "Oh man, System Link." He's like, "Who's your favorite character?" I was like, "Elvis, man." And he was like, "Yeah." He goes, "He's so overpowering in that game." I go, "Yeah, he is, man." He start killing people. He's like, "Oh." He's got if anybody ever played Rogue Trip, it's ROGUE Trip. It's a fantastic game. That is the real Twisted Metal, but it doesn't have any of the Twisted Metal characters in it because he's at that time sold them to Sony. He eventually came out of pocket, he told me, and bought all his characters back from Sony. That's how he was able to make Black.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no, I remember that time. I was there with you, but I didn't tag along at that time.
I wish I stayed, man.
Yeah, we had left earlier, but that's humble, man. I mean, that's real shit right
He's a
there.
cool dude. He was a real cool dude.
Yeah, that's some real recognized real shit for sure.
So we talked about all the American home console releases. Sticking with that, what's your top? Either your favorite one or your top three, because I know sometimes it's hard to choose. What would you say your console?
My all-time favorite console? TV console.
American TV console.
American TV console. I would have to, man. We talked about this prior to the show. It's like choosing a child. It's like, oh, this is my favorite child.
One of them kids got to go,
and you're choosing it in front of the other child. It's like, because I love my Sega Saturn, dude. I love the Saturn, but I gotta go. Dreamcast. Dreamcast is one. Yeah.
There you go. I figured that.
I'm taking Xbox original
Xbox.
Yeah,
This original Xbox super underrated, man. Because there's a lot of people who didn't jump on board of that. There were still Nintendo and Sony biased. Dude, the Xbox was solid.
You know, I feel like the original Xbox was like almost a semi portion breed of Sega, because a lot of the games on there were like Sega published games.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who claim that it's like the Dreamcast 2 because their relationship with Sega was so close, you know, with Jet Set Radio, with the Crazy Taxi ports, the House of the Dead port, you got all the Panzer Dragoon. It's like, dude, you're right. You got all these like classic Sega stuff and Otogi, which was I did a post on that the other day. Otogi 1 and 2, which was published by Sega, made by From Software, one of the lost From Software children that people forget about. Hack and slash game, fantastic game. But a lot of people call it the DC2. That's what the DC2 was going to be, and okay, maybe, but at that time, I remember there was a lot of rumors of Sega and Namco getting together to make a console.
Really?
Yeah, man. It got pretty thick. It was like pretty much everybody was expecting it to be announced, and never happened.
It's never.
Your favorite console?
As I said earlier, Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Super Nintendo is still my favorite console to this day. I mean, it just has it not only did the one of my favorite controller styles, but the games, Grip Nintendo, whatever. But it just has a lot of emotional value growing up as a child or whatever, and just the things that I've been through. It's just
I like the Super Nintendo, but I love the Super Famicom design.
Is that the red
with all the colors?
All the colors.
The system
was my favorite controller.
Well, the system itself was just super sleek. I never did like the blocky Super Nintendo with the purple and gray in
the
America.
shitty fucking gray that warps over years.
Yeah, But the Famicom, the Super Famicom design is a nice looking console. And I got to ask both of your guys' favorites. First, Nate, favorite Stallone movie not named Rambo or Rocky? Go.
Demolition Man.
That was way too fucking quick, man.
What about you?
I got it. Shit. You said not Rocky, not Stallone.
And you can't be Demolition Man now.
And it can't be Demolition Man. I don't know. I was gonna throw out.
You said it can't be Rocky, so you can do Rocky 2, Rocky 3.
I said, not named Rocky. Well, in that series, not named Rocky or Rambo.
I was gonna throw Tango and Cash, but what's the one?
Oh, there you go.
What's the one with his where he has to protect his grandmother?
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
As long as it's not Oscar, dude. Oh god, mine Copland.
Oh, that's a good.
Man.
Did you know what? You open up a can of worms because I don't even know.
He said, "I'm about to buy some movies on iTunes right now."
Yep.
I can't even think. I can't even think of his movies.
It's got De Niro in it. It's got what's his name? Got ton of plastic surgery.
Oh, Mickey Rourke.
No.
I mean, yes, but no.
The other guy, he's on the. Oh man, he's on. I don't know. Is it Cialis commercials now? I forgot his name. He was in Goodfellas.
Pesci?
No.
The
other guy who's laughing. Joe Pesci's laughing with him. Oh, you think I'm funny?
Ray Liotta.
Yeah.
Oh, he does got a lot of plastic surgery. You're right. You're right.
A ton of plastic surgery.
He had a lot of good ones.
I just saw Hubie Halloween, and it's like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, he has hair extensions, dude.
Yeah. Actually, he looks a little bit better than he did. I think he got more work done to make him a little bit more real looking. Because, like, dude, 2 years ago, man, he looked like I don't know who he. Oh man, he looked like a.
He looked like a Madame Tussauds wax figure.
Yeah, dude, yeah. It was like super, like way too tight. Yeah. Man, it's like, oh god.
So you know what's two movies that I totally forgot about, but I've watched these numerous times with Stallone. Assassins with Antonio Banderas, and then
Cliffhanger.
Daylight. Well, Cliffhanger, but Daylight. I don't know why that movie with the whole tunnel and it's flooding and shit.
What was the one when he was in prison with Arnold?
With Arnold.
That was
Escape. That wasn't bad, dude. I kind of like that one.
Yeah, because he was pretty much the main character compared to Arnold. Because he was like, he worked for the company where they like test security systems. He would build it, and then he would put himself in that situation to, I'll prove to you that you can't escape. And Escape Plan.
Escape Plan. Right movie, there it is. And I'm surprised none of you guys said Expendables 1.
I was gonna say Expendables, but I was like,
they ruined it with the sequels, man. It got kind of Fast and Furious-y.
You know what else I liked him in? Judge Dredd.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. Judge Dredd.
I am the law. I am the law. Get Carter.
That was great.
Cobra.
Over
the top.
Marion Cobretti. Yeah, one of my favorite. Hell yeah. And then he eats that piece of pizza and he cuts it with scissors. Remember that?
Oh yeah. You know, it's one of my favorite, a very limited voice role, but at the time, the competitor to A Bug's Life was Ants. I loved him in Ants. He was
an Ant?
He's the buff ass Ant.
Was he really, dude?
Yeah, he's the one that he's supposed to be in the. He's a soldier ant, and what's his name? What's that actor's name that does the voice of the main character? Hold on. Fucking Woody Allen. Woody Allen's like, no, I want to go and prove myself. And even, you know who else was in there from Predator 2 and Lethal Weapon?
Danny Glover.
Danny Glover was in there too. But
did he say, I'm too old for this ant shit?
Almost. It was fucking just ahead when he went to the war. But anyways, he was like this big old soldier ant, and then he switches spots with Woody Allen's ant character because he wants to prove himself or something. And the whole time they're like sitting there going, you know, you're a worker ant. You're like, yeah, you look too fucking buff to be a worker ant. And he has the whole voice and everything. It's just
That was a DreamWorks production, huh?
DreamWorks. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it was
a Bug's Life's competitor, you know, that time when Hollywood was releasing a movie and then its counterpart.
Yeah, DreamWorks had some classic stuff. Man.
Over the Hedge too was a pretty good one. With Bruce Willis.
So you brought up Stallone. What's your favorite Arnold?
Oh, you know what? I
Arnold stuff, man. He's got.
It's a toss up for me between Predator, or Commando. I really love Commando.
Oh
dude.
God,
he's like, you know, don't bother my friend. He's dead tired. Or he's like freaking throws. This is the one-liners, dude. He's freaking throws a knife. He's like,
he has the best.
Stick around.
Stick around.
And he's like, oh, he's like, what'd you do? I had to let him go. He drops him off the edge of the building or whatever. Yeah, classic, man. Classic.
What's yours, Nate?
Twins.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Man, you know you're bullshitting with this, though.
What? You don't like Twins?
I know I like Twins, but I know that's not your favorite.
I mean, other than that, there have to be Predator.
Yeah, Predator. Arnold has too many movies, man. I grew up with it's like Nintendo and Sega. Arnold was my Nintendo, and Stallone was my Sega.
Yeah, dude. I really like the Conan movies too, man. I did like the Conan movies, man.
The one where he was like a cop and he had to protect that girl. Or whatever. Was it like The Last Stand or something?
Yeah, that was good, man. When he was older,
recently, when he was a sheriff.
Yeah.
That was good. That shootout scene, man. That was pretty good, man. I liked it.
Real quick, speaking of older, did you see the latest Rambo? Was it Rambo?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
The one where he's taking on the cartel.
The cartel?
It was watchable. It was okay. I would have to say I did like it. Yeah,
I liked it. What I didn't like is the cause as far as what led him to do what he did, because he has a granddaughter or niece or something or whatever. What made me mad is her, because everything the situation she put herself in was just common sense. Like, you don't fucking do that. You don't fucking do that. And then it led to him, because everything of him is Rambo and the character John and everything. And then his whole setup, Home Alone style shit that he did was amazing. But it's just the cause that led to that was just kind of like, really? It could have been so fucking avoidable.
The only problem I had with that is them kind of showing that the cartel kind of let him live and let him go. After he started shit on his way, dude. Yeah, he would have got dismembered.
For me, Predator would probably be my top movie, but
it's such a classic movie, man.
There's so many movies that he did that I love. Fucking Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2. There's too many fucking many.
Yeah, all the Terminators. What was that one? True Lies. Yeah, True Lies.
Eraser, Jingle All the Way. Jingle All the Way.
Mm-hmm.
End of
Last
Day.
Action Hero.
Last Action Hero was one of my favorites. That was a cool movie.
Good.
The Running Man, Red Heat.
Running Man.
Oh my god! But yeah, the Conan movies were fucking amazing.
Yeah, they were cool back then, man. I used to, because I was hell into that, man. I was going to video games. I was into games like Rostan and of course the Castlevanias. But I was really into the sword and sorcery stuff at that time. And then there was like Conan came out, and then Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer, and then was it Beastmaster? I was like super into that kind of like D&D kind of lore stuff, man. Back then, it was really.
He even did
cool.
Red Sonja too.
Red Sonja, yeah, man. Good stuff. Good stuff by Arnold.
Arnold the Governor.
Yeah, he's still in California. You know where he lives now?
I don't know.
In Arnold.
Arnold, California. Oh
Sorry.
my god,
That too.
that was great. All right, well, covered a lot of stuff here.
Probably too much.
Probably a lot. This is our longest episode. I don't care. This is fun. I feel good.
Ready for that fourth beer. Round 4. Fight.
Well,
I'm about to, and then we play some Saturn.
There you go. I got X-Men Street Fighter set up, so
Let's
go. Let's go.
Cool. Anything else, Nate? You got any other questions? Any bring-ups you want to talk about? real
so
quick?
if you guys want to talk console wars, you can definitely meet me at the Chili's parking lot.
This guy,
Yeah, what's up with your guys' infatuation with Chili's,
It's
dude?
this guy, dude.
I gotta say, have you guys ever had their tortilla soup?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, dude, phenomenal.
It's good.
That's probably the only thing I'd go for Chili's for.
He got into this whole chili thing with Eddie. I don't know what it is. They have this weird like joke.
No, I
going
think it
on.
was before that.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
You just do weird shit at Chili's, huh?
Don't worry about what the fuck I do at Chili's.
Hey, they're at 20% capacity, so you can make your way back now.
25. Get it right.
25%. Awesome. Well, I think this was pretty interesting. Thank you so much.
I want to thank you guys for having me on. This is awesome. I had a great time. I could definitely talk about this all day. And if it got a little boring for everybody, all the listeners out there, I do apologize. But definitely check out my page on Instagram, Retro Gaming Nomad, all one word, no spacing. And yeah, thanks again, guys, for having me on. This was a blast.
No,
Thank you.
This was super fun. Thank you. Hospitality, everything's been fantastic. And I'm sure we'll bring you back on, especially post-launch of these consoles and once we get into more of these alcoholic beverages, and then as well as some good old hip-hop, because I got a lot of music to catch up on now.
Yeah, we could play some records right now. But
Oh, yeah.
going to consoles, let's just hope the rumors of a Dreamcast Mini are true.
You know what? Real quick, super quick, and it's probably not going to be real quick. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's nostalgic, but I love these mini consoles.
Oh, yeah, dude, they're awesome.
I literally shit you not, like I said earlier, way long ago, earlier in the cast, I had bought the Sega Mini Classic, and I was playing like Altered Beast like nonstop, dude.
Yeah, man, they're fun, and I didn't realize how big a fan I was of the TurboGrafx until I got my Mini, because on the TurboGrafx Mini, they actually have a lot of it's called PC Engine in Japan, and they actually have a lot of PC Engine ports. Now they are in Japanese, most of them, but some of them they're Japanese games, but they're still in English, and a lot of them are just like arcade shooters, like vertical shooters. And I'm a huge vertical shooter fan. So I was like playing some of these, and some of these games are, if you try to find a copy of it for your standard Turbo, they're like $300-$400, and they're on this thing, man. And the emulation on it is fantastic. Has, like we were talking about, Metal Gear and Hideo Kojima, his stuff. Like it has Snatcher as the original Snatcher on there.
Oh wow!
It's all in Japanese, so I'm gonna have to get a translator guide. I mean, I have it on my Sega CD, but
Hey, just pull out the app, man. You can just
use Google Translate.
yeah, man. But yeah, if you guys haven't got the Turbo Mini,
that one I haven't been able to find.
yeah, they're a little hard to find. They're starting to come back in on Amazon in US, but you can actually import it. The Japanese one, it's the same thing. I got one of those too, and it's the same layout. The European one, it's the same. It's not. It's still NTSC. It's not PAL oriented, so it'll still work on your NTSC TVs. HDMI hookup. The graphics are fantastic. But yeah, I forgot how big a fan I am of some of those games, like Ninja Spirit. The vertical shooters, the Gradius games, all that stuff, man.
Gradius were fun, man.
Dude,
I used to play those ones.
It's a lot of fun, man.
What was the more recent? Was it Raiden?
Raiden, yeah.
Those are fun games too.
Yeah, man. So if you guys are vertical shoot 'em or shmups, definitely get that Turbo Mini. You will not regret it. I guarantee it. Honestly, and I know this is bold because I'm such a Sega fan, and I know the SNES Mini and the NES. I think the Turbo is my favorite mini console right now.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very impressed by it.
So I have
extremely impressed by this.
I have Sega, the NES, and Super NES. I don't have the Turbo, but maybe I'll just mod the NES one and just add the emulator on there. But I would prefer a proper emulator.
Well, if you're able to get this, it's $100. Comes with a controller, and it's USB, and it's got the original layout. So you have the rapid fire, because the TurboGrafx controller had rapid fire switches kind of built into the original console, so you didn't have to buy any kind of like extra adapter or anything like that. So it's kind of cool. But just having it, the way it looks, it's just nostalgic. Yeah, definitely get it, man. It's good.
Awesome. Well, hopefully they do Dreamcast, and hopefully they do the 64, and I don't know if they'll do any other ones after that, because, I mean, after that, you're getting close to just the end of the minis. I mean, what other minis can they really do? I mean, yeah, they can do Xbox and PS2.
The Game Boy Micro Mini.
Game Boy Micro Mini.
Speaking of which, I'm going to get that Game & Watch, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get that Game & Watch.
Yeah, I'm going to have to get 2 of those.
Probably gonna get 7.
Cool. 7? I just heard that right
buy
now.
all of them.
Those are 7 of them.
Oh, hey, that's
I'm
next
definitely gonna
week.
get 2. Yeah,
Next
I know.
week. Next
a lot
week.
of money, man. I was thinking, and that's another thing I was thinking about. Like,
I can
man,
really
if I get Xbox and I get the PlayStation and I get the, if I want to get
two
more,
Game & Watch? And then you get
Game &
games?
That's a mortgage.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
That's my mortgage, man. Like, priorities, man. It's what happens when you get old, guys? Stay young.
Mm-hmm.
Stay 13 forever.
Stay 13 for as much as you can. Well, thank you, man. Appreciate it. This has been fun. Yeah, I had a good time.
Oh, absolutely. Super fun time.
All right, so I'll leave everyone with... Oh, I did that wrong.
Thanks, everyone, for tuning in to this week's episode of Sigma Duocast. Follow us on social media for updates on our next episode.
As always, look out for one another, take care of one another, and much love, everyone.
Hey, Rick, what do I always tell you?
Shut up, bitch.